the shot. Never mind your liver, get to Gino spot.
Gino spot.
Get to Gino spot.
Gino spot.
Have a laugh, have a giggle, and exercise your middle. Have a Gino shot.
Gino shot.
Get to Gino spot.
Gino spot.
Get to Gino spot.
Gino spot.
Have a laugh, have a giggle, and exercise your middle. Get to Gino spot.
Gino spot.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Center Stage.
And welcome indeed to Gino Spot on Tuesday night. And tonight is going to be a corker if backstage is anything to go by. We've got the Bats in tonight. They're all backstage eating all of our food. We got them all backstage. We got a little bit of food. Thank you to Fat Cats for our food. Grace has been kind enough even to give us a Bay Marie as well. Isn't it wonderful? We got a Bay Marie. You can see underneath here. There we go. Fat Cats, thank you very much for that. Lovely. We've got three different logos flashing on the screen for Fat Cats. And of course, thank you to our sponsors, to Spa, who have been sponsoring us kindly for the last, Lord knows how long, 2.5 years, 2 years since the lockdown wiped us all out during COVID. And then, of course, Amobia has given our internet as well. Thank you so much indeed to Amobia. And tonight we've got Casey's given us a bit of gin as well. So Keith Clark, the guys say they know you, Keith. They say they know you.
Casey and the Sunshine Band.
Yes, Casey and the Sunshine Band indeed. And so I hope that you're going to enjoy it. Tell me what you're doing at home. Tell me what you're drinking. I've got a little bit of gin, a little bit of a G&T. Thought it'd be very Eastern Cape. I thought I'd stick to my Eastern Cape outfit. So my pineapples for tonight as well, just to bring a bit of Eastern Cape into this group of Joburg maniacs. And of course, the Bats have been very popular down here for 175 years this year, I think it is. Indeed. Carol Jacobs, hello, all the way from East London. I see people all over, and Carol beat me indeed. Philippa, all the way from St. Francis Bay tonight. My dear wife is on some sort of holiday there. And there we go. Garth Sampson, our weatherman. And I tell you what, you can see he's in the Garden of Eden there. He's got the leaves to cover strategic places there. And Garth, we hope the weather continues like it has been. Well, my tanks are full. All the tanks are full. Everybody's tanks are full. Yeah, I hope your tanks are full after that rain, because it was a hectic rain. Renee Mitchell, how's it, Renee? Oh, Music Kitchen, babies. That's right, because the Bats are there tomorrow night, and we'll be talking about that when they come on too. And then, yes, Batty tonight. Indeed, I am Batty tonight. These oaks are Batty for sure. I don't know if it's just the old age or whether it's a bit of the gin and tonic, but we'll see how it goes. Camilla Ellis, how's it all the way from PE as well? Well, tell me where you're watching from, what you're doing. Give me some comments, and we'll start with a little bit of song and get you guys going. Tonight's going to be I can see it's going to be great fun already. All right, so welcome to Gino Spot, ladies and gentlemen. And we hope that you're going to have a good time. Tell me what you're doing. Tell me where you're from. Any expats out there? Like Ian Mitchell, lovely to see you there. And Gabby, who says hello from East London. Yes, hello. And Sean Paul's there too. How's it looking forward to a Batty evening? John Skippers, hello. If you don't know, that's John from Car Park John. Philippa Fabri's there, sitting in the dark. Sorry there, I hope the thing is working. What's it called? It's called an inverter. That's right. Jennifer Schultz there. Oh yeah, she was at the nurse's run this weekend. Oh, Shanine Weeks, all the way from Cape Town. You look beautiful, doll. Ralph and Shanine enjoying a glass of wine. And Gabby, you drinking sherry. Oh, well, the years went by and the rock just died. Susie went and found herself some foreign guy. Long out standing at the record machine, dreaming of my Chevy and my old blue jeans. But the biggest kick I ever got was doing the show with the Bats tonight, and the other kids are rocking round the clock. If they're rocking round the clock, then they're much older than these guys. Rory Norton says good evening from Richmond Hill. I like a mustache, Rory and Geordie Glasgow. I don't know why every time I see your name, Geordie, I start to speak like this again, yes. Hi, Gino, and what is the usual for me? Marie, Sam, Samson, Marie. All right. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Lovely to have you on board tonight. Tonight is indeed going to be fun. Oh, thank you very much.
That's what you call thinking on your feet.
A bit of fun tonight. I love Johnny Glasgow. I love to see you on the. I like to speak in a Scottish accent. Although, if I had to go to Scotland, they'd probably tell me bugger off because it's probably quite bad. But for me, it sounds quite good. Right? All right, now. So ladies and gentlemen, next on, of course, Dean Allen has been traveling around the globe. He's been globe-trotting, our historian who usually does history on the Eastern Cape. But because he's elsewhere, he's been doing everyone else's history. So we're going to have a look tonight because he's doing something on the place that he's in at the moment, which escapes my mind at the moment. But let's have a look and see what Dean has to say. Dean, what are you doing?
Hello, it's Dean Allen here, and I'm back in my hometown in Somerset. This place is called Minehead, but it's famous for one particular place. This is Butlins Holiday Camp. And in fact, you may have heard of the term Butlins. It's one of the most famous holiday camps in Britain, but it has some kind of history. You see, Billy Butlin was this pioneer who decided that the British people should have affordable holidays back there in the 1930s. So he built a series of camps between 1936 and 1966. And this particular camp here in Butlins, Minehead, was created in 1962 at a cost of £2 million. So every week, some 6,000 people come onto this camp, mainly families, of course, for affordable holidays, and it's a model that Billy Butlin built up. But I'm going to show you around. Here we have the wonderful fairground, which is all included in the holiday. But perhaps the most famous part of Butlins is this incredible building here, which is Skyline. And here we have entertainment, we have big artists, we have bands, etc. So here we are just about to go into the Skyline Pavilion, but we actually have a family connection with Butlins. My mum's pride and joy is that she was one of the first redcoats here in Minehead at Butlins. And the redcoats are these famous people that make sure everybody has a great holiday. We may spot one if we go inside, so come with me. Here we have some of the original accommodation from 1962. As you can see, it hasn't changed much. While there's a lot of variety here at Butlins, some things stay the same. Yes, would you believe I'm still at Butlins? And as you can see, not all accommodation is like that. They've made some improvements over recent years.
And well done, Dean Allen. Thank you very much for that. Indeed, we hope that we're going to be back soon. I hope to see you scouting the Eastern Cape, because Dean Allen is doing a book for Adrian Gardner on the history of conservation in the Eastern Cape, which I actually am very looking forward to. Very looking forward to. Studio sounds noisy tonight, and I'm sure it bloody well is, because these guys is very noisy here. Peter Swart watching from Slummies. We got some Slummies guys here tonight. East London, all the way. Slummies, they call it Slummies there. You know, they like it. And we can't wait to see who's going to. Indeed, the bats are going to be a good fun tonight. And all right, so I think without any further ado, let us get to the show. Ooh, welcome to the show. Now it's your time to shine. We're gonna have a chat tonight. Another good time. And we're in.
We're in. And there we are.
Oh, are we on the
There
mics?
you
We
are.
are. I hope you can all hear us. We got. You can see on the couch as well. We got the peanut gallery from that side as well. We got an extra camera from this side too. We can see you all from that side, and you can chirp whenever you like. There's no rules here at Gino's spot. So guys, fantastic to have you here in PE in Gqeberha.
Great to see you, Gino. Really, we didn't know what we were coming into, but we came into this wonderful studio. It's fantastic.
I know it's food and everything.
That's wonderful.
And I was just saying that obviously you guys pack a bit of clout because we got the Bay Maries, we got everything tonight. Yeah, we got to get, you know, Bay Marie. We've had we normally get nice food, but tonight she's really like revved up the whole thing for us.
Thank you.
And you guys are here for a show tomorrow night.
Yeah, and Thursday.
Yeah.
And Thursday as well. And Thursday as well. So
The Music Kitchen.
The Music Kitchen. Indeed.
Yeah.
You guys have played there before, eh?
Yes, we have.
Yeah.
2019.
20 no, pre-COVID, before the war.
Before the slaughter.
Indeed, the slaughter.
Get yourself back up after COVID.
I know.
It's quite a...
It has been, you know, and I know. I mean, even for you guys, I mean, are you playing? Were you playing regularly before that as well?
Yeah,
before that, yeah.
When we say regularly,
we're retired.
We did gigs. You don't do every night anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You pick
yeah.
shows and you pick shows because when you're 80, you
Yeah.
know, things.
Who's 80?
You know,
Okay, speak for yourself.
things get slower, and your voice gets lower.
And the money gets and everything drops a little lower.
Yes,
You know?
everything drops a little.
Everything works slower.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
It takes us a long time to set up
To get things
and a
started.
long time to find the stage. That stuff.
Get lost backstage. Like,
Yeah.
Was it Spinal Tap? go lost there. It's like, and I mean, because you know, normally people would retire, but I don't think musos ever retired.
No.
No,
What do you do when you retire, when you're a muso?
because
You
you're
die.
having fun. You're having fun.
You
You play
die.
guitar in your room.
Yeah. I do that anyway.
Just annoy the neighbours during COVID, you know.
Yeah, the drums. Oh no, you never get too much hassle with the drums, though. You stay in a place that's big enough, Eddie.
No, he
You know,
practices all day. If you go
All
and see
day.
him, the other day,
I've got
he's
it,
sitting
I've
at
got
the
it warm up.
dining room table with one of those pads, and it's
The Roland.
Yeah, it's okay. Thanks.
Yeah.
No.
It's the
Yeah,
closest I can
there's
get
something
to
in the
real
kitchen.
drum.
Yeah, and he's just playing all the time.
No,
All
you
the
come
time.
in. You come in.
Put him on stage.
You come into his house. And you hear tick, tick, tick,
Where's
tick,
my
tick,
pad?
tick, 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 tick. So you walk into his house, you tick, 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 tick. Then you walk down and say, "Morning, Ed." Tick, 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 morning. Tick, 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 tick.
Now, I've
Can I
got
have a
I've
cup
always
of tea? Tick, 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 tick.
I've always had a very weak left hand.
Yeah.
And it gets sore so I have to practice a lot
Warm
to
up?
warm it up, you know.
Really?
That's all. That's
The
my
left hand,
big problem.
just snare hand.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Everything
snare.
else.
Snare.
But he's still the best drummer. I'm sorry.
thank
you.
The best drummer I've ever
Thank
played.
you, Paul.
Well, you
I'm
know,
telling you.
I
That's
love-
very nice.
I've always thought great drummer, and also just play every single gig like at 150%. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah,
what
no,
it's like.
that's true.
There is no other way.
Yeah.
Is that right?
You know what's peculiar? But people ask me, I know Eddie's very funny. I say, yeah, he is very funny. I said, and what does he do in the band? I said, he plays drums. Oh, does he play drums too? I said, no, he played drums first. And then he came out and told gags. No.
Yeah.
So there
That's nice. Thank you, guys.
And he sings.
And he sings as well.
Yes.
indeed.
And he sings.
Oh, well,
Singers.
you know, he's getting all the accolades
Yes,
tonight.
well,
He deserves them.
What is happening here, guys?
my turn will come.
No, I mean, all of you are musos in your own right, but also, I mean, you do the acting story as well. And what? No, tell me about Fat Man and Bobbin, because
Oh, God.
that is emblazoned into my head, and I cannot tell you when. I did see it on television, but I was obviously very young. And I
Must
was
have been,
I was 7 or 8 when TV came
Yeah.
through. 78. When was Fat Man and Bobbin around on
It was
TV?
about 77, 78.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's why it's in my mind.
And
It's in
none
my
of
mind.
those tapes are available.
Yeah.
So you were one of the lucky ones who saw it.
Well,
And it's in your mind.
Is it Fat Man and Bobbin?
Well, let me tell you
Back
what
on the
happened.
road again.
Yeah, you see, I remember that section.
Yeah.
It's like it's in the back of my head somewhere.
My song. He sang my song.
Hey, he sang your song.
You did. Oh, fantastic! The Fat Man
We
and
were
Bobbin.
playing in Cape Town when they showed the TV special
Yeah.
on Fat Man and Bobbin.
Yeah.
And I had a little 4-year-old son.
Yeah.
And I was in Cape Town. My wife phoned, got us off the stage, to speak to my son because he thought I was dying with the train coming
Oh,
across
God.
the train line.
We played those sketches, remember?
Yes, yes, you put it on the train.
Hysterical. I said, yes, Daddy, I'm fine.
I had the same with my son. I was in a series and I'm pushed down the stairs and I die on the bottom there. And my wife then, she phoned me and said, you've got to speak to him because he thinks you're dead. Imagine watching it on TV and saying, Dad's dead.
Oh no,
Must
terrible.
be terrible.
Come on, man, what
Must
you do
be
to your
awful.
kids?
Yeah.
What terrible parents you
Yeah,
were.
no, horrible.
But dad's having an affair, he's kissing another woman.
Yes, kissing another woman all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly. And I mean, I remember the television at that time was so new that everybody, we used to go across the road to watch the neighbour's house, black and white. Go and watch.
Well, we did the first live at 5 thing, which was live in Studio 5.
Okay.
Now, the Germans and the Poms had just moved out. So the South African people were left there, the technicians, that was all. And they were all...
But did they start with German?
Yeah,
German
they
cast
came in
together
and
again?
installed the whole thing, Germans
Okay.
and Poms, I
Okay.
think. But now the technicians are... And there was one thing where I had to play a live guitar and they ran this lead across and plugged it in. Now I had to play this thing and then play it behind my head. And I can remember this thing was buzzing and crackling and we had no time to fix it.
Yeah.
So I carefully, when I got to when I cracked it was, I'm telling you how they put that together, but it was a magnificent show.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you know something? They said, no, we've got copies of this, don't worry.
Yeah.
And the next day when we went, they put BB Buddha over the top.
Use them.
They ran out of
Oh,
tapes.
they
They ran
tape
out
you
of
over.
tapes and they just said, no, use this one.
They tape you over.
Yeah.
you
4
just
weeks of our specials.
Oh man, gone. Ah,
Gone in a flash.
Jesus. Okay. And in those days it's analog. So if it's gone, it's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know? Okay, there's no
We
good.
searched.
Being on TV in those days was very different. I mean, you became a hero overnight.
Yes.
Yeah.
A star.
Yeah.
I think
mean,
somebody else
people-
should take 2 center
No,
stage.
don't worry.
Everybody's-
Look at you. It's fine. Don't be impatient. It's
I
fine.
just don't want them.
We got cameras all
You
the
got
way.
cameras everywhere.
We got
okay.
cameras there. We got this camera so we can
Okay,
move it if
lovely.
we need to. as well.
Give
It's
them a
fine.
close-up of Paul so they can look at it.
They only see that
Oh, they're
Gary's
in the
moving
background
around.
though. Why am I up here? I'm not-
No, you're okay. And did you ever act in the villages?
No, I've done
You
100 other things, but
Because
not that
everybody
many.
was in the villages, Paul.
Yeah, no, I didn't
You
do
know,
that one.
That was a good series though.
Yeah, it
eh?
was quite good. Yes. But I also, it's another one of those that's kind of
Yes.
in the
Yeah.
Yeah, you must have been very...
Well, he was at the age.
You were a
where
young
just
man.
soak it up.
yeah, just try and soak up everything. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
that's
Fat Man
about
with Bobbin
the 80s,
certainly popped in
How
there.
about that, eh? Gee whiz. That's incredible.
Do you know how many days we spent out in the sun on that railway track trying to get... Oh, God. And it was... No, we did it in one day, I'm lying. But I'll tell you something, it was stinking hot that day. And we'd had a party in Durban the night before, and Moy had got pretty...
As usual.
as usual. So I had this raging hangover, and I got up there and I had to walk around with this patch over one eye as Pete the Sneak.
Yes.
He's never changed.
And he was laying on this railway track, sweat rolling off him, and they'd pat him off every now and again. Oh, God.
Pete the Sneak, absolutely.
And
Paul the Cruel.
Paul the Cruel.
Paul
Yeah.
the Cruel, what was it?
But who was
Paul the
Bobbin
Cruel
then?
and Pete the Stick.
Barry,
And then Barry was bobbing.
Yeah, Barry was bobbing.
Barry?
And you know that
Bobby.
Barry John has passed away.
Robin.
you know that
Yeah.
DC Comics actually complained about it.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, from America, because we didn't know, there was a character called Fat Man.
Yeah.
And they said they'll allow this, but if we do another one, we have to ask them for permission.
That
Pay
means
money, of course.
And we were playing down at Cyro's and we used to do sketches, you see.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, there was a balcony above the stage and then the stage down there, and then you went down these long steps to get to Cyro's. It was one of those
staircase,
sweeping,
not steps.
Oh, staircase.
Staircase.
What's a mouth wine? Staircase.
Absolutely.
And I said to Eddie, you know, wouldn't it be funny, because Barry was very droll, you know, if Barry played Robin and you played this little fat drunk Batman. I'd never seen this thing, Fat Man. And he said, I'll think about that. And he started making ideas about it. He said, yeah, I think it might work. And I said, we can even drop Bobbin over the balcony.
Which we didn't.
Which we never did. He slid down the
Sometimes he was sober.
I'm sure.
But he got good ideas when he was.
But you know, back then as well, there were a lot of these comedy bands as well that were doing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
as well,
plenty. Blend.
Irish
Blend.
That was
man.
very much later.
Yeah. And so I mean the fact that you like you were talking about the fact that you played drums with solo, but then you started to get out front and if you've got that talent, then the people want more of it, you know. So they'll push you to do it. It's like jumping off that diving board, the first one.
What was that?
No. I'm saying it's like
Yes,
the first time you do
yeah.
it. The first time you do it, you know, it must have been quite nerve-wracking.
But we've always had spots of cabaret in our show ever since the bat started.
Really?
It's
Okay.
absolutely amazing.
Sunday nights.
No,
generally.
if, like the weekend at the Macabre, you played at a place called the Macabre in Durban.
Macabre.
The tables were coffins.
Okay.
Coffin, only coffin.
Genuine coffin.
Genuine coffin.
What a lovely theme.
Yeah.
Tell them about Jimmy and the coffin.
Yeah, so
The
we
first
used to have
guitarist
this, we used to have
before
this guitarist Jimmy Hendrix from Liverpool, and we used to rehearse every morning.
Jimmy.
And the dude to come and clean the floors between the coffins. But then he says one day he's going to climb in the coffin, and we must play a certain thing.
Yeah.
And as soon as the conch is there, you see, Jimmy comes out of this coffin where the guy was.
He dropped his cleaning stuff and went. Never came back.
The management was so upset with us.
Never came back.
Never came back.
Never came
Not even
back.
with-
Never
Hey,
came back.
didn't come back to work.
Never.
No, I'm sure. But you know, the whole comedy, that comedy band thing is kind of it was I'd say the 70s and 80s I would say, and early 90s perhaps when it started. Like we were talking about people like Danny Fisher. And
wonderful man.
that sort of thing. And was it Gary and Spider? I can't remember.
Gary Spider.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spider's just passed on, hasn't he?
Yeah, he just died.
Wow. Okay, I didn't realize
About
that.
a month ago.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
Shame, man.
Yeah.
And of course, Joe Parker.
Joe
also,
Parker.
That was a wonderful thing for bands because
other David Gordon.
you always had something to look forward to, extra.
Yeah, a little bit of extras, a little bit of fun in between.
Yeah.
It's that thing. And Derek, did you guys didn't really do the comedy stuff with Mello and Jive when?
Yeah, we did do sketches.
Okay.
With Mike Pepper and all that, but not at Lily's.
Okay.
Lily's was strictly dancing here.
Oh, okay. Yes.
So it was just dancing. You got up and you played. I think we played 19 out of the top 20 hits because we rehearsed every day. So people would come and say, "Can you play this by the weekend?" And you're into it, and you're going to do it. You're going to buy whatever you had to buy and listen to it, get it.
Yeah.
So we were all chasing the hit parade to be right up to date. But when we left and went to Joburg, we started doing corporate stuff.
Yeah.
Then Mike and I used to do and Gene Smith.
Gene, yes, Gene, local boykie, yeah.
And Gene used to come out and do an Elvis thing,
Yeah,
and then he'd do a Jerry Lee Lewis thing. But Gene, with the best of glasses, couldn't actually see for too far. His lenses are like the bottom of a chutney bottle. So for this act, he had to put on a big pair of dark glasses at Bertie's Landing in Vancouver. Giving the Jerry Lee Lewis, now he's play the piano, it's not plugged in. And he walks around, Linda's playing the keyboard. He's going mal, and he walks around the next thing. off the stage. And those who know, a DX7 Yamaha was a heavy,
Yeah, the hectic thing. Yeah.
And this thing followed him. He hit him straight in the chest.
Oh, my
and he lay on the ground. But he had a radio mic with him. And he just kept going, goodness gracious, Great Wall of Light. Right on the floor. And he just kept going.
Yeah.
But those are the, we did those sketches. But
Yeah.
just to this Fat Man and Bobbin thing.
Yeah.
I mean, we'd never seen it. I don't think we had TV in Queenstown.
Yeah. Oh, right.
And they came to the town hall.
Yeah.
In fact, I was in Round Table, and I was one of the guys who was given this project to bring them there.
Yeah,
They played there in Togoza. And when he came out as Batman, I looked at him and nothing fitted. Nothing. Everything was loose, hanging. And Batman's got the ears. And this one ear.
That's right. That's right.
Jeez,
That was the
something
character
just
he
sticks in your
was.
mind. Yeah. Okay. It's no wonder those people complained.
We used to do shopping centres, you know, as they do, like Checkers.
Yes.
Places. And Fat Man and Bobbin would be there with all the kids, you know.
Okay,
And
yes.
then all of a sudden, Pete the
Sneak.
Sneak and Paul the Crawl would be coming on a balcony, and all the kids would say, "Look at there, the band is in there, the band is in there." That was TV in those days, you know.
Because it's and
They
so much,
lived
literally a captive audience at that
Yeah.
time because
Oh,
you
yeah.
had early TV and then news and then
One
Afrikaans.
channel,
So,
eh?
yeah, it was like English and Afrikaans.
Yeah.
And that was it. One channel.
And they believed what they saw.
Yeah. They did not so much anymore. It's like everything's fake news, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
You're right, yeah.
And where did the bat start? I mean, what is it? How did you guys get together?
1964.
64.
I was playing with Barry Drummond in a band with Peter Van Vuren in Rhodesia at the time, Bulawayo.
Yes.
And a guy had come to, we used to go swimming every day at the local swimming pool, very hot. And this guy bought one of these battery operated record players.
Yeah.
And he put this record on. He said, listen to this band, the Beatles.
Whoa.
Whoa! Just straight away we knew this was it. So we contacted Paul, who we had asked to come and join us in Bulawayo.
Okay, for the band.
And he's also...
How old were you?
I was about
25.
1960,
I was 24, I was 25.
63, I think it
24,
was.
25.
63. So I was
Too old.
24. I
They
was
tell
24.
all the writers and all the record companies says you're too old to form a band.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Agents said you're too old. You can't play rock and roll.
Yeah.
At 24.
Holy crap! You should be at just.
Well, Barry was about 28 then, or 29.
Yeah, he's old.
Oh, old top, eh?
He was an old top. You know, in those days, 30 was old. Eh?
Yeah.
Hey, when
That's
you're
sure.
19, you're 50.
It's true. And so you started then.
Yeah, so we contacted him and we said, listen, would you like to play this music?
What's
Write
funny,
down
but
songs
what
and
was funny
stuff.
about that is Barry said, can you play the bass? I said, no, I play the piano. He said, I bought a bass, I'm bringing it down from Rhodesia then.
Yes.
He said, I'm going to meet you at Uncle Charlie's, take it, and we're coming back in 2 weeks' time, you're going to play the bass. So it was so easy because I played piano, so I understood the music.
Yes.
But how about that? And I had a little Beatle bass.
Oh,
But let me tell you,
Hofner.
it was,
Yeah.
now it's very valuable, but
Yeah.
I didn't have it. We used to do it, Eddie used to do a comedy thing on, it was, you remember they used to break up, the Who used to break up. the
Yes,
thing?
break the
So we used to do that with Eddie and
Club
he'd like
Tomorrow.
a mad rock and roller, and he took my bass and pulled the strings off. So eventually he broke it to pieces.
You broke it.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
off the bass.
it wasn't that bass.
No, it was that bass.
And
No.
another bass.
No,
The other one was that Rickenbacker bass.
No, he didn't do it with
Pieces.
the Rican.
Well,
No, he only broke that one.
Did he?
Did he break it again and again every night?
It was
a
a
violin
comedy
bass.
thing. And the one night I will come on stage with some Afrikaans chicks. They only play cup music.
We're taking the mickey out of the whole thing. They think this is for serious.
I really think you're being
No,
serious.
look how I play cock music, but just break their things. No, that's funny. You know, but how was the music scene back then? Because I can't even imagine what because it was obviously no television, so
It was
no-
very
so-
healthy.
So everybody was out at the pubs every night.
Yeah.
Every night.
Bands in the pubs all over.
Every
Every
town, every
hotel.
city
Yeah.
had 5, 6, 7, 8 bands playing at the
Yeah.
same time.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
unbelievable.
in Durban it was more. I can think of
Yeah.
10 venues along the beachfront in
Wow.
Durban. And we were at the Kenaway Hotel.
Yeah.
And
That's East
on
London.
That was
no, not the
004,
Kenaway,
though.
the Kenaway, what's it called?
You were
The,
Al Fresco.
no.
talking about the Bats
where-
or you're
the
talking
Bats, the Bats.
Oh, the Butterworth Hotel.
No, the in the main street at the,
We never. Oh, okay.
yes.
Okay, the Bull Ring.
Yes, the Bull Ring.
Okay.
Lonsdale.
Lonsdale Hotel, sorry.
Lonsdale.
And we were there
old, you know.
I can see it. I'm loving the arguing.
on Saturday.
Played so many venues.
On Saturday we did 3 sessions. We did a morning session, and then we did a lunchtime
Good
session.
Lord.
No, evening session.
No, we did a
Saturdays, yeah.
Yeah, Saturdays. We did a lunchtime session, afternoon session, and then an evening session.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And Fridays you did cocktails, then the evening session.
That's unbelievable. That's-
And
And
we
we-
played
and
every
you-
Sunday.
And on Saturday it
some
was
resort.
always packed.
Played-
All
Was it-
three.
was it a
all
session?
three.
Was it the sessions?
Yes.
You know?
All 3 sessions were packed.
Go courting with your
With
girlfriend.
extra bars in and everything, eh?
Okay.
Before TV started,
Yeah.
everybody did a 5 o'clock gig
Yeah.
and a night gig
Okay.
before TV.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
as soon as TV started and got more popular,
Yeah.
that sort of died off.
And then the late- the late-
And also, Dallas came on Tuesday.
Dallas on Tuesdays.
Tuesdays, we're the crowd.
What's
Wednesdays, you're okay. Mondays are great, but
We never worked Tuesdays, did we?
No,
We
we
did.
eventually cancelled.
Sure.
Listen, Tuesdays is becoming Gino's spots, the new Dallas.
good, good, good.
It's the new Dallas, man. But we need some more. Who shot JR and stuff going on here?
Well, the
Well, we
amazing
can shoot you with a
Here
toy
we
gun.
go, we can try.
And you come to life again.
There we go.
the
Wake
amazing
up in a
thing-
dream.
The amazing thing was in Cape Town, I was playing with a band called Pendulum,
Yeah,
and we were at the Inn on the Square at a hotel called Peabody's.
okay.
And I was telling the guys that when it opened, you stood queue every single night. We played Monday to Saturday, and people would stay in that queue till 12 o'clock at night. And then we're stopping at 1, but Tuesday, we come in there, there's TVs on the bar counters all over.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
All hooked up,
Yeah.
and
What's
the band doesn't start till Dallas is
Yeah,
finished.
what's
And then
Dallas?
the people come in and they watch Dallas,
Yeah.
and then the band can start. That's how strong it was.
Yeah.
at Dallas. It just took over everything.
Yeah, I remember. I mean, I remember Dallas Tuesdays. I was a little young as well, so I had to really ask my dad, like, "Dad, can I please watch Dallas?"
Shame.
Because it's like Kojak or
Yeah.
Dallas. You know what I mean? You can
Yeah.
watch the one or the other.
Yeah,
For me, it was
yeah,
just
yeah.
at that age.
That's lovely. What a lovely memory.
But by the time we got to Cape Town, that was our big shout down there. We didn't worry too much about Dallas because we used to work at the Rotunda Hotel at the old Camps Bay.
Wow.
Camps Bay, the old Camps Bay Inn.
Okay.
Which is now very long.
In on the square, you
Yeah.
know. But it wasn't then. It was quite a rustic hotel with
Yeah.
this big round room at the back with a huge roof.
Yeah.
It's still there actually. But anyway, we used to get about 900 people in there on a Sunday night. They used to queue up
900?
900.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our record was 850.
Good
But
Lord.
average 500. Yeah.
It's unbelievable. And big dance floor. They're like dance.
Oh,
Massive.
no, they didn't dance. They sat down and
Yeah,
watched
yeah.
us.
Watch Sunday
And
night.
that was like
Sunday
for
night.
us.
The rest of the week they
They used
danced.
to come from Belleville, from all over.
Yeah.
Now they used to close the bar at 9 o'clock.
Okay.
Now we used to finish at about 11. So now the guys used to go and buy these crates of beer.
To save.
Yeah, so they
Same.
could
No,
drink
You're allowed
till
to-
11.
No, you could buy the booze and
Oh,
you
I
could
see.
drink it until you finished it.
Yes. Okay.
So they used to buy crates.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
my
On the
soul.
premises.
And we would stop at a certain time,
Yeah.
and the waiters would bring to the different tables the amount of beers that they wanted, so we could play later.
You'd have to
All
judge.
had to be open.
Probably a good thing for the wives, you know. They're saying, "No, Fonny, you can't have more than 3 beers tonight." And
Oh, the ones that over drinking the husbands, man.
And then they've got to drive back.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, that road was, you know what the
Yeah,
road is
I'm
down to
sure.
Camps Bay.
Oh my word, through there, yeah. He
Anyway,
was
they
out
made it.
towards Sea Point.
But at the Pig and Whistle in Rondebosch, the same kind of thing. The law then was on a Sunday,
Yeah.
you may not buy any liquor unless you have a meal.
Yeah.
What was the same
So
time?
what they did was they got the worst curry and rice. I don't know what they
Yeah,
made
no,
it out
that's
of.
true.
Maybe all the dogs had died.
Why did he
and
always
they were
pick
doing
on
this
curry and rice?
But you came in, you paid your money, they gave you a ticket,
Curry.
okay, and you've got your ticket, now you go, and there's a counter, they give you a paper plate, and you give the chef, or whoever he is,
Your plate.
who's got a spoon, and he just goes slop. And then they drag this plate across, and at the end of the counter, there's a 44-gallon drum. And you just slanted it in. But you had to receive it first, otherwise you weren't allowed to have any liquor. So that's how they got by. And then on Monday morning, pig farmers, you come in and collect up, and the
Yeah.
Well,
pig and whistle used to sell a barrel of old curry to them.
ours is different. Exactly the same thing, but they would have a dustbin packet in a thing, so that the staff could take that food home to their
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So at least so they had to use. You had to have
You
a
can sell
meal.
it. They-
Now the
That's
food at
how
the
you-
pig and whistle, you couldn't give it to your family.
Ah.
Because you wouldn't have a family.
I don't think this was much better. I'll tell you, I had it once. Curry and rice.
I liked it. I loved it.
Did you?
Yes.
You enjoyed it.
I must be a pig.
You know, I
I
can tell
loved
you.
it. Absolutely loved it.
You know, if you're hungry, anything tastes okay.
But what was nice about those playing in bands
Yeah.
is you had everything found. So if you had family, you could bring the family, stay at the hotel,
Oh, wow.
all free,
Okay.
all food.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So you were all together.
Yeah. Okay.
That was amazing. And we used to have like Sunday afternoon, or when was it, Monday night or something. It was the day when you could buy films.
Oh yeah.
You know, and-
Movies, you know.
Oh, you could
Yes, yeah.
Real
yes,
film,
you
yeah.
could hire
And
them with a machine.
we'd have the whole family in the hall, and we'd have these movies going with all the kids and the comedies.
Oh, fantastic.
It was just unreal. But being in a residence,
Yeah.
every morning you go down rehearse from 10 o'clock till 12.
Wow. Okay.
So you get tight. You can do anything
yeah,
you want.
yeah.
Write stuff, let's rehearse it.
Yeah.
There were a lot of good bands
A
around
dream.
in those
It's a
days.
dream.
There is the, I mean, and the fact that you could have that time to do it,
Yes.
you have at the hotel,
And
sure
you're all
staying.
there. It's all
Yeah.
there.
Look, there was a lot of bands that had a hard time doing those circuits as well. I mean, there was
Yeah.
what was a hit and run that got the drummer
I knew the guy.
shot all the guys. Eh?
Yeah.
I mean, hey,
Oh, yes, I remember.
With the
Yeah.
bass player.
yeah, because his girlfriend here and a wife there, so it wasn't like a Fleetwood Mac situation.
Yeah.
It
No.
wasn't like a Fleetwood Mac situation with you guys. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
You could have had a good album like
No,
that.
we didn't do anything like that.
It wasn't
No,
any-
we-
no swingers, baby.
All his children are his children.
Oh, good. Because just before we pull you out of the hot seat, for
Yes, I wanna get out. I'm feeling rather uneasy.
we're going to have Derek.
We'll
Swap
keep
you with
quiet.
Derek soon. But you're just a little delve into your history. Born
In Manchester.
He was actually
Manchester.
born, yeah.
Yeah.
a Mancunian.
I came out here. What happened was, you see, after the war, South Africa gave engineers or
Yeah.
engineering people in England a free ticket to come to South Africa and find a job because they needed engineers out here. So my dad was an engineer.
Yes.
So he got me and my sister and my mother, and we got on the thing. 1947, on the 2nd of January, we arrived in Durban.
Holy moly.
So
Okay.
totally from England, really.
The
really-
castle liners or the what is it?
Castle
The-
Line, that was the Winchester Castle.
Winchester
And
Castle.
it was the last time that the castle liners went through the Suez.
Oh right.
So we saw
That's
the
right.
pyramids in the distance, and it was just magic.
Wow.
And I remember, because we didn't know about heat or
Yes.
sun. It's England. It's a
Rain.
horrible weather. Anyway, Manchester. Oh
Yeah, yeah.
gosh. If you want to be a soccer player, don't play in Manchester. It's horrible. Anyway, so we come out here and we stopped at Aden, which is on the northern
Yeah.
of Africa.
Okay.
And I remember getting off the ship there just to look around.
Yeah.
And there's a guy frying an egg on the ground. On the side, on the pavement, in the docks. Yeah, you want a fried egg? That's just fried.
Was that hot?
Yeah, and I thought, wow. And the other thing that was crazy, we didn't know any black gentlemen
Yeah.
in
England.
England. And we came out and we saw these lovely black children. It was like,
Yeah, it's like,
no, it was like, This is
Our first
this is
time.
heaven. It's like this is just too pretty for
Like
words.
the jam jar, eh?
Yeah, it's like that. We were over the moon.
Yeah, you're coming out to Africa.
Yeah.
Like crazy.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, how old are you then? You must have been young.
8.
8 years old, yeah. So I
Turn
mean,
9 as I rock.
and were you always you get into the music? I mean, you must come to school then in South Africa.
Yeah, I went to Germiston Boys High.
Germiston Boys,
Yeah.
that must be
And
a
that's where I
culture shock.
played the drums in the band. You know.
Oh, you
I don't
played
play
the
the drums
drums?
now. Yeah, you know the snare. And then I went to the Scottish pipe bands.
Oh,
And I won the South African Cup as a side drummer.
no way. So
Yes.
those rudiments, eh?
Yeah, rhythms, absolutely.
The paradiddles and your
Oh man, like
drag
speed.
rolls and
lightning,
your
lightning.
Yeah, 5-stroke
If
rolls.
you come and see the show, we do a little triple drum thing,
Oh, nice.
which does not show how well I play at all. And you'll probably puke, but because you're a good drummer.
No.
But I mean, yeah. So that's
Great.
how. Then what happened was look, I can go on forever. I've got a lot of stories, but I mean, is this?
No, carry on.
No, tell us this one.
So we came out there. Now, what happened was my mother was born in South Africa.
Okay.
Her father, I'll tell you how her father came out, because it's fun.
Okay.
It's fun.
Came out when you say
But-
came out, he wasn't.
No,
okay.
it's fun. It's fun. It's fun. There's a place, there's a farm called Carter's Ridge,
Okay.
which is in Kimberley. Carter's Ridge was one of the bases for the Boers or the British.
Yeah.
Like they used that as a kind of a base.
Okay.
Anyway, what happened was my mother. I've got to get this right. This is what happens. No, stay with me. Stay with me. What's the time? No, just stay with me. So anyway,
We're still here till Friday.
my mother,
Yes.
my grandfather, who I never met,
Okay, yes.
was booked by Carter's Ridge.
Yes.
They sent an advert to him looking for a farm manager.
Oh,
Now he was in Wales.
yes.
Answered it.
Wales.
He come out from Wales, and anyway, he came up and managed the farm. He got out here. He was lonely, so he wrote to the same newspaper looking for a wife. So then somebody answered and flew out, rode out,
yes.
and came and married him.
Okay.
And then he had 4 children,
Yeah.
and the third of which was my mother.
Okay.
Then he got pneumonia and died.
Sorry,
Couple of tears.
Oh.
Shed tears. Wait, stay. It's quite interesting. He died. And then the wife said, I can't farm. So the lovely Carters said, don't worry. We'll pay for you to get a ship and go back home with your kids. So they got to Manchester.
Okay.
And the kids, then she died. Can you believe it?
Oh.
No, a week after they died, she died. Yeah, the kids are there.
Yeah.
So they went to foster homes.
Oh.
Okay. Anyway.
Okay.
Later on,
Farm him out to Manchester.
yeah, bloody Manchester, still raining.
Solman.
That's right. So then anyway, my mother grew up, met my dad, and she said, I'll marry you if one day you take me back to South Africa. Because she had pen pals. She was at boarding school till she was 12, at Bite's house, whatever it is.
Wow.
So they kept writing. So when we came out here, we went to a farm
Yes.
in Kimberley.
Okay.
And a lovely
Kimberley!
sheep farm. It was great. A sheep farm for a kid.
Yeah.
Magic.
Scarpa.
Anyway, then my dad got a job in Germiston.
Oh, Germiston.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we had to go and
So you
do
go
that.
from.
And
What
then
about
the
your
gym-
piano?
So you didn't go
playing?
And
you go to
then-
CBC first.
Yeah,
then?
but what happened was, those old people at
Yeah.
Carter's Ridge,
Yes.
the woman died. What happened? 2 of the old ladies there, when we went to see it. It's an album version. They played a zither. These 2 old ladies.
Zither. What the hell is? What the hell is this?
The famous song from that is down do down do down do down ding do down do down do down do down. That's a famous piece for zither. They played it, and I was like 8, and I said, "That's really nice. Thank you. It was wonderful."
Zither.
When they died, they left me a mandolin.
Oh.
And in the will it came to us
What?
in Germiston, yeah. So then my dad said, I've got to play the violin. I didn't want to play the violin. But I went for some lessons with the violin, and then I said, no, I'd rather play piano. And I played piano.
Okay.
So I had about 4 lessons on piano.
Okay.
And that was
And
it.
then you go. They started with the
Yeah,
piano.
then at least I could read a bit of
And then the
music.
piano teacher died.
There you go.
That's why I only had
She
4
left me
lessons.
the piano. I had to carry it home.
Your musical career is filled with death.
That's right, yeah.
Oh, that's magic.
So when I die, I'm going to leave my piano.
Oh, excellent. It's coming in the will. I mean, who leaves a mandolin
Yeah.
or violin or a mandolin?
Mandolin.
Mandolin in the world to somebody.
Who knows what a mandolin is when it arrives?
Ching, ching, ching,
In
ching.
those days, a mandolin was something, I think. You know.
Oh, well, I mean, still, it's a lovely instrument.
But it's such a fun.
Yeah.
You tune it the same as a violin, don't you?
Yes.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
But it's
Got
got
that-
double strings.
All I know is that Zeppelin thing. What's it
Oh,
called?
wow.
Battle of Evermore.
Yes, yeah.
Play that.
Anyway, thanks for that boring time. Sorry,
Yes,
where
let's
where
have a look
are
at
you?
some. Let's have a quick
well,
before you
sorry
go.
about that.
We're having a look at some of the comments coming in here. We've got a whole bunch of comments. Let's see who's saying hello.
I think
There
they've
we
gone
go.
to sleep.
Brian Sarayo
That was last month.
says saw Eddie at the Pirates Club last month in Joburg with Jake White was a guest speaker. Is that right? Eddie
Right,
White?
yeah. I hobnob with the biggos.
Yes, sir.
I don't mess around.
I'm messing around. Here we go. Sean Paul. There's fond memories of Derek at Lily's with Mello and Jive and his wife Linda on keyboard.
Wow,
Late
yeah.
great
Wow.
Godfrey Money. We're just talking about Godfrey Money on drums. Had a few visits from the band's accommodation in the house in Summer Strand.
That's right.
Oh,
We
really?
stayed in a huge house.
Really?
9 bedrooms they gave it to us.
Jeez, like-
Right on the beachfront. When I wake up in the morning, I look at the sea, see the dolphins.
Wow.
Yeah.
Body central.
They didn't want us in the hotel because we were taking up accommodation.
Of course,
So they
yes,
hired
yes.
that house.
Oh my word.
So that's where he's talking about.
Well, there we go. So Camilla Ennis still haven't. She still has an original Shabby Little Hut album.
Oh, bless his soul.
Hey, how's that?
Wonderful.
Well, she's much more young. I bet you that belonged to your mother. You thief. You thief, Camilla. There we go. Garth Sampson, Eddie, let's hear about Bontok and Potros days.
Whoa.
Oh yeah, there you go. There you go.
We can talk about that later. Yeah.
When you get in the chair.
Bontok and
Come,
Potros,
come,
you're
come
already
in the
Get in the chair,
No,
short
no,
term.
no.
Not just
Listen there.
Derek, we'll have Derek quickly as well. While they're swapping. Hello, Gino. Great memories at Lily's with Mela and Jive as students. Yes, absolutely. I did as well. I was still at school. Often saw Eddie when I lived at Mondial.
That's right. That's where I grew. My family grew up there.
We all lived in there.
Is that like a really dodgy place?
Same in
Mondial.
my
That's
house.
very sharp, boy.
Middle class.
Where the
middle
men are
class.
men and some are the women. You the rough.
I lived there for about 45, 46 years, Mondial.
Well, your car never has wheels.
Yes.
I know because they stole mine.
Where every car never has wheels. Okay, Laureen Shaw, enjoying the interview. Hope the bats come to EL, to Slummies. Are you guys going to pop
Is
up
the
to
guild
Slummies?
theatre still open?
The Guild Theatre is definitely open. We've booked,
Is it?
we've booked a couple of dates there for
Okay.
our new upcoming show. Absolute legend. Ian Mitchell, you'll be joining him tomorrow night at the
Oh,
Music
lovely.
Kitchen
Yeah.
as well.
But he's not noticing.
Gabby Hewer says, Eddie, did you loan my late cousin, Ashley Kelly?
Yes.
Ashley Kelly.
Yeah, actually.
Bass player. Is that right, Gabby? He must have been a bass player. Judy Ditchfield.
Hello, Jude.
Here we
Hello,
go.
Judy.
Wow. Online.
Hello, my
Is
love.
that your dear wife?
Yes, Judy.
Excellent, Judy. Lovely.
Judy,
He's
Judy,
here.
Judy.
There's no
I'm safe.
There are no blonde ladies in the studio.
Except his
liar.
Wendy.
Except
over there.
Wendy. She is
She's
blonde.
blonde.
Remind me of Vin Coco. Love the tunes. Built on podcast.
Balto.
Vin Coco. My God. Didn't you have enough money to buy something nice? Evo. Oh man. There Gabby says yes. He was the bass player. Ashley. There.
Yeah.
All right. But let's swap you out. Then, Paul.
Okay,
Fantastic.
I'm gone.
And Derek,
Am I
pop
coming
up.
in
You're
there?
in the hot seat for a bit.
There he goes.
I'll
Sit
go
there.
through our so we can
Go to this side.
Go and sit there,
There
there.
you go, there you go.
There we go.
My phone down there.
Get in the hot seat, Derek.
You know.
Oh, this is Ed. You're going to struggle to get up here.
Derek Gordon, now bass player. Who plays what in the band? I didn't know. You usually play bass with you singing.
Piano, bass.
Is it a three-piece and vocals? Oh, but you and keys as well.
No, 4-piece
Four-piece. Yeah.
with vocals.
Yeah. Four-piece.
Fourth piece.
Okay.
But what happens is that I start off the show on rhythm,
Okay. Rhythm.
Pete on lead, Paul on bass, Eddie on drums.
Okay.
Then, after a couple of songs, I'm on the drums.
Okay.
Eddie comes to the front.
Okay.
Okay.
So obviously, Paul, your drumming's not that good, then.
And
No,
then,
don't touch the drums
Okay.
until we get to the triple one.
and then I'm on the bass when he
Yeah,
goes
okay.
back on the keys.
Okay.
And then at one stage, I don't know if I still do it, I used to play the flute pieces in Herd.
No, we don't do that anymore.
So I had to do, so I sort of play a little bit of everything and
keys as
master
well.
none, so to speak.
Yes, yes.
Just be utilised.
One of those guys.
Yeah.
Trying to keep his job in the band.
Yeah.
He carries the gear.
Utility man.
They first brought me in to carry the gear.
Oh, right,
Yeah,
yes.
I thought it
The
was
youngster.
for my talent. But
Yeah, 10 years younger.
10 years younger than you guys. So you just had to carry.
That's it. And I owned the PA, so they couldn't keep me.
Taking extra money then, as well, no doubt. Oh, magic. And I mean, obviously, but bass player. But your main instrument was bass player, pretty much. Because I remember you on the bass most of the time with Neto and John. And that band was so tight. I've got to tell you, I remember how tight it was.
Well, like Eddie said, when you're rehearsing every day and you're playing every night, it just got to fall into place.
Yeah.
You are so tight. I mean, Godfrey was like a metronome.
Yeah.
Well,
Great drummer.
Eddie's like a metronome.
Yeah.
You, as a drummer, you know a simple song like Cocaine.
Yeah.
If the drummer doesn't hold it down, because that beat is just in the groove.
Yeah.
And this oak, even I said to him when we went
Yeah, he
and brought it
sits.
into the show, I said, wow,
Yeah.
that just sits in the
Nice.
groove. It just right through.
Can you do that all
Hope I don't let you guys down.
Don't you let me down tomorrow.
I'm going to be coming and come watch them. I'm going to watch those hi-hats. And you see you does
Don't get too fancy, he's just solid.
And who does it? And obviously Pete's got the ring, ring, ding, ding, ding.
But I must tell you the interesting story of how we got together was that I've always been friends with Paul and Pete and Ed.
Yeah.
Through the years when Paul used to do cabaret down in East London, he used to come and take Linda and I out for a meal
Okay.
and so on. And Barry John, the late Barry, you also very good friends with Linda and I. He used to come to Cape Town and we were Pendulum, we used to go out.
Okay.
And then one day,
Pendulum, I was also wondering
Yeah.
about the name of that band.
no,
where
they were
got
big.
They were swingers,
big,
eh?
Yeah, it sounds like it.
So what happened was, when these guys were doing corporate cabaret, you would always have that guy, come on man, Ed, put one more show, one more reunion show, come on man, one more. And they used to get really, like, oh. Yes. And he was in Pete's restaurant in Barberton, and he'd just done a cabaret somewhere, and a guy came and said to him, come on Eddie man, come and put your bats together one more time. And Eddie said to him, you can't afford it. Am I right with that? He said he can't afford
Not
it.
quite, not
And the
quite.
guy
Yeah.
said, name your price. And Eddie gave him a price which was about 20 grand too little, because the guy accepted it like that. He came back and he said to these guys, to Batty, and he said, listen, this is what's happened. This guy, they want us to do a one-off in Nelspruit.
Nelspruit.
So are you guys interested? And they thought, well, that'll be quite interesting. So they started rehearsing.
Yeah.
So Eddie, they had no equipment. Eddie had his drums and that's that. So he phones me and he says, we've got no PA in that. Will you come and do the sound for us? So I said, he said, make a weekend. Obviously, we're going to stay with Pete. Linda will come with me. And I said, yeah, it'll be great.
I had a big home up there at the time. Yeah.
So 2 weeks later, he phones me. He says, Barry Jarman says he's worn this T-shirt. He can't do this. He said, you're going to be there anyway. Don't you want to play bass? Well, that was 22 years later for the one-off concert. And we've been to Australia and Zim and all over the place. And here we are. And that's how it started.
Unbelievable. But it's great. And often these things, the best kind of gigs and relationships come out of like just a spur of the moment thing.
Sure.
Yeah. Just give it a go.
Unpredicted.
Why not? Why not do it?
No, but
That stage that he's talking about, we hadn't played for 20 years. The band.
Yes. Wow.
So it was a once-off.
Yeah.
But you see, the thing is, Eddie and I were sitting at his house. Sorry, Derek.
Yeah.
And he said, "What do you think?" And I said, "Well, you know what? It fits all the grooves, you know."
Yeah.
I
Ticks
said,
all
he
the
plays
boxes.
bass, he sings. I said, and that's what we definitely need. He's got the PA,
And that's a
That's
must.
a big thing.
And he's young.
And he can pick up everything.
and he said,
And he comes
and he
cheap.
says, and he plays a bit of rhythm guitar. I said, well, that sounds
brilliant.
good.
Yeah.
But
that was a
the
total
amazing
one.
thing was when we started rehearsing, because when I was in Queenstown, funny we would talk about this today, and when I was in Queenstown, our drummer went to the army. So we had gigs, when you've only got 4 guys in the whole town, you've got one band. If one guy leaves, you've had it. So I had to play drums for those gigs.
Okay.
Then Neil Diamond became huge, so they bought an Elka Rhapsody machine, and I had to learn to play keyboards. So ding, 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 ding. Okay, that's C. And so we built it up like that. And of course, I've always been a Shadows fan, so when it got to rehearsals with these guys, he did an Elvis thing. So he said, can you play drums? I said, yeah. I said, yeah, I can play drums. Then we started the Shadows, and he did Apache and FBI. I knew that in Standard 6. So it was just such a nice gel that we could do everything together. And I mean, since then, yes, like, you know, every December we came on this Garden Route tour.
Yeah.
It was magic, man. Yeah. It was just, we started in East London and come to Port Alfred, Kenton, Casino here, Potter's Place in
Jeffrey's
Barnyard,
yes.
off to Mossel Bay, and then everybody went on holiday.
Yeah,
it was fantastic.
You know, it's always the case with a band. I think when you get together and you click as far as your musical taste goes. I mean, have you all pretty much the same sort of taste?
Yeah.
Who's the heavier stuff?
Probably me.
Pete, the guitar player.
Led Zeppelin.
There we go.
No, he's definitely heavy. He's about 125 kg now.
Like Jimmy Page, and your influence is Eddie.
Mixed influences.
But he started as a jazz singer.
Sinatra,
Sammy Davis Jr. to Beatles to that.
Well, like you said,
60s pop scene.
Beatles was your first introduction. You're saying the guy with the batteries, one of those 12-volt batteries on a record player. I could see it.
Yes,
I could see it. And a bit of Beatles.
Yeah, and of course in those days, before I joined the Bat, I mean, before we formed, we used to play Latin American stuff. You know what I mean? Play for dancing in a little nightclub.
Like sambas and
people
rumbas
and eating, so you have to play quiet.
So do you eat like that?
Use the brushes.
Yeah, no brushes.
And then eventually,
do you ever use brushes?
Oh,
so
I
don't have to anymore.
And it was all standards in those days. Foggy Day, you know, that kind of music.
Foggy Day.
And then the Latin American.
But you sang a lot of jazz, didn't you, Ed?
Well, I mean, that's swing stuff.
So jazz standards kind of
all those jazz things
coming.
Bobby Darin was his favourite.
Bobby Darin.
Mac the Knife.
Oh yeah.
The shark hands.
Wow.
Big band.
Yeah, no, it's lovely to play with a big band. I mean,
I must say, I wanted to play big band drumming. That I loved. I loved that. I never ever got that far.
Oh, I tell you what, I've played some big band kind of stuff with the big brass section. I mean, play with the brass section.
Fantastic.
That's the best.
I envy that.
You know,
I envy you.
Those little bangs, those little stabs are the best. And I'm doing a lip, bang, you're like, bang, you're like, I've had some fantastic jams with bigger bands, but you can never pay everybody. It's like, it's got to be a really special
it was
occasion.
never that big in this country. You know.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
Yeah. Do you ever get to play anything else, any jazz and stuff, any of that Lani stuff?
I've never been a jazz fan, ever.
Okay.
I mean, I appreciate what the guys are doing.
Yeah.
But when I grew up, in my era, I can still remember listening to Buddy Holly on my brother's radio, and he kicked me out the room. And it was all my love, all my kisses. Oh boy! And I thought, this is unbelievable. And then, of course, I got into Little Richard, Fats Domino. Then it came the soul music, Wilson Pickett, Percy Sledge. And then a guy was interviewing us with Pendulum on Cape Good Hope Radio. And he said, what were your musical influences? And I started telling him. So he used to be all the black singers. And I said, really? He said, yeah. And he was right.
So
because apart from Elvis, those were my era, Wilson Pickett and all that. We did
that was blues, is rock and roll, isn't it? It's like it came from
Chuck
soul.
Berry.
And I mean, Wilson Pickett, I mean, I love it. Like Stagger Lee and those things are great songs.
And the Flames, remember when the Flames came out?
I
did soul music. Woo, from Durban.
Yeah. The guys just passed away. Fatah, Steve. He passed away a little. Steve Fatah. Steve Fatah. Was it Ricky's brother?
Ricky was his younger brother.
Younger brother. Okay.
Those guys played with the Beach Boys.
Yeah, I believe so. I mean,
Incredible musicians.
Yeah, and I mean, also Beach Boys, and it must have been totally different live from what you hear on the records. You know, when you hear the Beach Boys, the drums are mixed so far back in the mix. You know, it just really irritated me. You know,
don't need
sort of,
frontier, man.
bring it.
I'm working hard here.
I know. But so I mean, I love to hear the fact that these influences all came together. And you, Paul, what are your influences?
Man, you know, I'm a Billy Joel fan. I don't play much of his stuff, but that kind of thing. I'm more a writer than a musician. I write all the time. Every day I write. I try to go to sleep without writing, but I can't.
Oh really?
Yeah,
it just comes
in my head. I've got songs in my head like you cannot believe.
I think it's when your legs lift up and the blood rushes to your head.
But before that, were your influences the Beatles? I mean,
yeah, the Beatles were my big influence.
Yeah.
You said you're right.
I did the Buddy Holly show as an MD and a character in the Buddy Holly. We did the whole tour with that. And my wife and her sister were also in it at times because my wife is an actress, Judy Ditchfield.
Okay.
So she's actually rehearsing now.
Yes, she was online. There she is. Yeah. Tell your equal story. Baby, come back.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, he must tell you that one.
I don't want to interrupt your
No, we're fine.
Tell him.
Okay, now. So we're in London, the Bats, trying to get a job, and we went to record, and our producer said, hey, listen, I'm doing a session with this group. They haven't got a bass player.
Okay.
I said, yes, I'd love to do it. So we go into this little tiny studio. I mean, smaller than half of this room, in the basement. There's a drummer, a white drummer, a nice black guitarist, and a black writer singer.
Yeah.
So we're recording away, and we do Baby Come Back, and I give him that bang bang. So I give him that. Yeah. So he came out about a few years ago.
Who's the singer?
I can't remember.
Eddie Grant.
Eddie Grant.
Eddie
yes,
Grant.
That's right.
Yeah,
Eddie Grant.
Eddie Grant, was that him?
What a lovely man. And he came out here about 5 years ago.
He wrote Hope Joanna, that whole thing about
what a lovely man. Anyway, and he wrote there, we had a picture taken. He said, thanks for the...
No way, for the lick.
Yeah. But we knocked them down, man, in like zilch seconds.
Jeez.
And on the Equals, he was called the Equals then.
Okay.
And they had such songs on that thing, man.
Yeah.
Wonderful songs.
Well,
he was such a clever writer.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was such a joy.
That Killer on the Rampage, was it on? I don't know if it was on that one or if it was on the next album. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But Killer on the Rampage, that whole thing.
Yes.
And Electric Avenue.
Electric Avenue.
Hope Joanna.
Very clever.
What's the other one there?
But Paul, were you walking in Santon and he recognized you?
No, I was invited. He was coming to see a studio. He was talking to somebody in the studio, and they said...
And he remembered you?
Yes, he remembered me.
See,
He said, I know that the guy played bass on.
Yes.
So they knew me, so that was... I'm
going to go listen to that again. Was it you on the...
That's his riff, yeah.
You can hardly hear the bass.
Okay.
That was the whole hook of that song.
Yeah, it was, of course. It is. It's like almost like it reminds me of that. It's that do 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 boom do 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 do.
Yeah.
Wow, that was unbelievable.
Wasn't that good, eh?
Spencer Davis.
Spencer Davis. What
And
a
that's got a
voice.
Spencer Davis
What
feel
not
about it.
Spencer, but
Stevie Winwood.
Well, I'm so glad that you did, because I love that lick. And the other one was and he's clearly got a thing for licks that what is it?
Electric Avenue.
Can you feel my love?
Yeah.
Can you feel it as I walk away?
Absolutely.
That was him
All
too.
built on bass riffs, eh? Yeah.
He obviously likes that sort of thing, you know. So,
Yeah.
really good.
What a lovely man.
Was he a good guy? Was he a good guy? Eddie Grant.
I must tell you what we were going to tell you just now about Bathurst.
Yes. Oh, yes. Bathurst.
This story, I'll never ever forget it. So now it's the afternoon. Bathurst phoned us. We're sleeping over in Kenton on our way to PE, and somebody
Kenton
phones
Hotel.
Eddie and says, "I hear you guys in Kenton." Yeah, well, you got to play in Bathurst. I think tonight or the next night. He said, "But no one's there." He said, "It'll be full." So we rock up there, sold out, complete sellout. So we set up the gear in the dining room.
Tiny
brought
little
in
room,
plastic chairs and everything.
It's like this side.
So Paul, he's got the piano. There's just Paul and I there, and we're busy sorting out. And here come two women, farmers' wife. They come in and they sit right there in the front. There's right here. So Paul says, I know, he's still fiddling around. So they start talking. We said, why are you here so early? They said, no, gee, look, it's first come, first served. They said, we're not going to sit in the passage. So they're sitting there, and they asked Paul, so what's the show about this and that?
No, I said they're going to laugh.
Yeah, Paul says, you're going to laugh so much you'll wet yourself. This is what he actually said. I'm standing next to him. So now the night comes with the show. And they're so close, we can hear what they're saying. So this Eddie gets up there and they are absolutely rolling. They're laughing so much they're not actually listening to what he's saying the next time. And the tears are running down. And there's one woman, she says, I've done it. She says, what? She says, oh, wait,
When she laughs, she please.
Paul and I were just like,
Success.
We could hear them. I mean, they were here.
Yeah, that's right. They're talking.
Success.
It's like talking to Derek. Like
Yeah. And then, of course, that night, all those farmers and nobody wants to go home in Bathurst. And I snuck away. Pete got trapped in the guys.
Yeah, but I didn't mind getting
He
trapped.
didn't get trapped.
He came.
I trapped myself.
Twist your
I
arm.
opened the trap and said, close
And
it
then the
now.
next morning, we came for breakfast, and the owner of the hotel, he said, the Bathurst farmers have got a... I said, geez, well, these guys can party. He said, the Bathurst farmers have got a huge problem. I said, what's that? He says, their farming interferes with their drinking.
Oh, no. They got a good sense of humour.
Lovely.
Ethel Trollope on, he says, no, but these days the drought's so bad we've got to fax the sheep to the cow. But no, so okay, I think it's probably time to swap around.
Put Ed in
But
here.
I just need to know where you're born and bred where.
Born in East London.
Islami.
Yeah, moved to King Williamstown when I was 3.
King.
Moved to Queenstown when I was 5 and stayed there.
Dale, Queen's College.
Queen's College.
Queen's College. Okay.
I've come with that. My dad went to Dale, so I can't.
Oh, okay, can't do that. We've had a lot of Dalians and a lot of Queen's College guys, but I'm glad the Eastern Cape tie-in, you know, for the Albany guys, all the Eastern Cape outside. I know a couple of people from Queenstown there that Linda and George sometimes watch. Somebody can tag Linda and George from the West Days, and they always watching from Queenstown. It's so nice to have some people from Queenstown in, you know.
Well, my grandson's going to Grey College next year, so
Oh.
I'm going to have to change some priorities.
Yes, so that's just a Bloemfontein, would it?
No, yeah.
This is
This
grey. No,
Yeah.
this is the grey, grey high, the grey, isn't it? What do they call it? The college or the
Grey High School.
You got Grey High School here, and then the college is Bloemfontein.
Yeah.
College.
Yeah, college. Yeah,
Oh,
so on a kind of Bloemfontein.
Okay, Ed, shall I get the ladder?
Eddie, it's your turn, Eddie. You have to go around there, get yourself up.
It's been lovely.
Pull me up!
Thank you. You're still on the peanut gallery seats there.
I'm not going to get in here.
Can you make it? Can you make it, Ed?
Try.
Can you get on there?
There you are.
Oh my God.
You just slapped the poop thing.
I know we had you on. We've had you on from Joburg, but much better to have you in the studio.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I could check
he's
what's
such a
happening.
handsome guy.
You know, boss.
Really. So I was gay on Kishore right now.
Yeah, no, kiss me right now. It's fine. We're cool. And I just noticed now we got the Beatles in the corner there. You see that we got the Beatles.
Yeah.
there.
Yeah,
Oh,
see?
yeah.
Just
The
for you
Beatles.
guys. We got
I see, yeah, see there.
and I got my old radios as well. I checked my old radios there.
Yeah,
on
lovely.
shortwave.
They look pretty new.
They only pick up Radio Russia. You can put it on. Het was net nog wat het is niet
Ukraine.
Ja, ik krijg Radio
You want to go to
Russia.
Ukraine?
Ik heb the bombs coming.
Yes.
Yeah,
Too late, the bomb hit.
yeah, God. So we only got shortwave from them, but I just love the look of this whole, the whole vibe. You know?
Lovely.
They took care of their radios back then because everybody had them and they had prime place.
Yeah.
Back in the old days.
That's one thing young kids have got no idea how to work.
Yeah.
Cassette, they've got no clue.
Well,
No clue.
This came in 8-track as well.
Oh, God.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
That would completely flummox them.
It's called a Weltron.
Oh,
And I got it,
yeah.
Mimi Rupp. Somebody tagged Mimi Rupp. She got my Weltron for me. Mimi's a lady here. She does a smart stone factory here.
Wow.
That she does. But she had one of these in a attic or whatever. She said, "Come on, Gino, you got to take it." So it's fantastic. I actually noticed it because it's in Austin Powers movie.
Oh, is it?
Austin Danger Powers.
Oh yeah.
But this was ultra modern in its day.
Proper.
This was the real
It's
deal.
the proper real deal. I don't
They
know if
were
you can
like
get the
faux
camera on that
pas
side if you
walking,
can
yeah.
see it, but it's like my Weltron. It's become my pride possession.
Does it still
I
work?
enjoy it.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Does it?
Yeah. You can even play.
I must bring my collection of cassettes.
You know, you
Eight track.
No,
Eight tracks.
cassettes.
No cassettes, yeah. That one takes cassettes, yeah. I mean, and you guys have, I mean, think about it. You guys have actually lived through, okay,
Yes.
records going from
Yeah.
LPs from
Yeah.
78.
Yeah.
I don't think it was
Yeah.
78s. I think it was probably just getting
78,
to 45.
I remember going through 78.
Yeah.
78. Was Chevy Little Hut to 78? No, it shouldn't.
No, 45.
The 45.
45.
Singles, eh?
But 78.
No, it's a big one.
Yeah, the big one is 78 that
Yeah.
broke easily.
Yeah.
No, they don't break easily.
No.
They were quite,
78, you hit it over your head, it's gone.
oh no,
Oh,
it's
it
it
depends
shatters,
on how
yeah.
hard you
It's
hit
like Bakelite kind of vibe, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yes.
But then
Yeah.
the 45 mini with
Yeah.
4 tracks on, that you couldn't break, that was plastic.
Okay, yeah.
And then the big LP was also plastic,
Yeah.
so that was...
33, 45s.
Yeah.
I mean, so you got really from the start of that whole
Yeah.
thing,
Yeah.
right through
Yeah.
to like,
CDs, cassettes.
reel to
Oh,
reel.
we went through it all.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we
We
were-
don't even know what
No,
the
we
next
were-
one is going to be.
Here's something technical. Because they were flat like that and they ran around, if you wanted to hear exactly what the guy's playing, you could play the 45 on something slow.
And the
And then
33.
you hear all the notes as clear as
Ah,
possible.
yes.
Yeah, it's like slow.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
so it was easy to.
So you put the 45 on 33 and a 30.
Yeah, that's right. And then you
listen.
can. That's as easy as.
And of course,
when it's
I'm-
going like this, you,
Uncle Marconi showed us a few tricks as well.
Uncle Marconi.
Yes.
One of your
He was the guy who invented radio.
Oh, really? Really slow it down. I can imagine. You slow it down. Do, 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 do.
That's it, that's it.
But isn't it amazing that you've gone from vinyl,
Yes.
which became throw it all away,
Yeah.
and then you went to cassette,
And,
8-track,
Yeah.
reel to reel,
yes.
CD.
Yeah.
Now you back onto the
Vinyl.
flash.
Yeah, we
yeah,
went to
flash.
many discs.
Flash.
And now,
Yeah.
who told me now? Who told me
Yeah,
about
they-
Adele, who
they've
printed
been
15,
Vinyl. No,
15 million
Vinyl.
vinyl?
they're back on vinyl.
Yeah.
Absolutely. They
You
love
see,
it.
so don't throw your bell bottoms away.
No. I never throw it. You guys
years before
Are
that.
you a hoarder?
Yes, I've got my bell bottoms.
Terrible.
Have you all got lots of cuck in your house?
Yeah.
Yeah, properly. They can't throw it away. No, don't throw it away.
My wife says I'm one of the cock.
Can't throw you away yet. But yeah, I mean, you connect these obviously because it's memories as well.
Yeah,
you know?
But if you've got a good player,
Yeah.
a good record player,
Yeah.
that production on there is better than any CD or DVD or anything you can get.
Well, there's a certain dynamic
It's all compressed
range,
now,
isn't
you
Yeah.
see.
there? A certain dynamic range.
And the
on it,
warmth
I think.
of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we recorded live. It wasn't it wasn't translated into digital.
Yeah.
That's the other thing.
Yeah, it was recorded. It was recorded.
Analog.
The analog is it picks up so much more. You know,
Yes.
all those vibrations come through that
Oh.
they just that rounded
Correct.
wave, as opposed to the square. The
There's
square.
a
Yeah.
technical
That's
term there, Eddie, and
So-
I don't want to get technical, but there's a technical term for the DBs that the actual vinyl give out. That
I don't know vinyl, but the guys go to what, 96 now? What?
96K or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's just the amount of the sample rate.
The sample rate.
Yeah.
Sample rate, but now obviously there's an unlimited amount of sample rate on an album because
Yeah,
because it's live.
that round thing.
Yeah.
You might miss things, you might not hear something, but it's all there. You know, it's
Yeah.
all.
I had
it's
a
all-
friend who paid about 20 grand for his desk. It had little balancers and everything on
Yeah.
it, you know. And he used to have to say, "Don't touch that one. That hasn't been unwrapped," you know. And then he pulled one out. Only he was allowed to touch them, and he put them on. But the sound,
It's good stuff.
I'd forgotten how good it was,
Yeah.
you know.
It's great. All the little imperfections as well. Also.
But the recording on vinyl was the fact that the bass had to be correct. Otherwise, that needle would just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You couldn't have it too. Yeah. It would, and also it got to be the amount of songs that you could put on, or the speed that it went. You know, if it went it went faster, you could get more sound and you know better quality. And the deeper the groove kind of thing, that's like all that.
No, it was good.
The thicker the groove was better, you know.
At one stage in the 80s, I started buying direct-to-disc albums.
Yeah.
Oh,
like
yes.
the Dave Grusin. So they play the whole side in one shot.
Oh, really?
Because they're recording it onto that thing straight away.
Oh,
Wow.
Okay, direct to disc. Okay.
So it goes from one song to another.
Yeah, you're right.
They play
Direct
that
to
half
disc.
and then they play the other half.
Okay.
Direct to
So they had
disc.
to record a song for
Well,
record.
they're going to do 4 songs on that side. They play the whole 4
Yeah,
songs.
all 4 songs in a row, and then they had to record again to sell to the next guy. No, I'm joking.
Virtually.
Nice one.
They only made a few after that.
I mean, you're growing up. You started. Where were you born? In
Bears
Rock-
Valley, Johannesburg. Bears Valley,
Bears
on the
Valley.
way to the airport. I was there.
Yesterday at the airport.
Yeah, we were on the way to the airport.
But do you find it with your comedy as well? You pick up from all these places that you've stayed and gigs that you've done as well, stories that you've got.
Yeah.
You pick up characters from those. From
Yeah,
those things.
definitely. But I asked the guys, there were times we'd go play at a place that had to come and haul me out from like a pub or something.
Yeah.
Because the idiot, have you heard the story?
Yeah,
I'm coming over and drink here, man. These guys come and haul me out of there.
But you know, he is the sexiest member of the group.
Yeah.
Tell him what happened. Tell him what happened in that long trip up the coast. Remember when this woman, guy said,
Oh
"You
my
wanna meet
goodness!
wife?" Remember?
Up to Port Alfred.
Oh,
Not
No, that
Port
was
Alfred.
up to the west
Up
coast.
to the west coast there. Yeah.
My wife.
And he thought you were his passport.
We do
Yeah.
a gig and it's a terrible gig. The West Coast.
Port Nollet or something.
Right near the bloody.
The Makwalangers vanavond.
Yes, that's it. That's it.
Now-
That's it. There.
On top of it, there's not many people standing outside, and the guys say, well, the people that booked us say, just play something so that they'll come in. And it's only like 40 people, not even that, 20 outside.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I said, the guys, you have sound balance, I'll listen here.
Yeah.
I said, let them come in and they sit there. I finished playing. I said, the chick says, well, that's an interval already.
It's a sound check.
Anyway, we don't make any money. Now we've got to drive back to Cape Town, and it's like a 5-hour drive or something.
And we get lost.
And they say, be very careful when you get to the spot, you're on the beach.
Yeah.
You got to make sure that you go to the right place. We get to the beach and we're lost.
Oh my word.
And this truck pulls up. Eddie, ek sien jou bliksem man, kom hier so. Yes, my wife was crazy about you. Bliksem, she smart, you stucker, man, stucker. Come in the truck, you put me in the truck. The guys are going to follow us now, boy. And we go,
So you with his wife.
No, she's at home. She's taking me now to see his wife. She's going to go crazy, man. Yeah, bliksem, yes, like a Eddie. We get there and get to the front door, we open the door and get into the bedroom.
Now we just want to get back.
Look who's here!
In the bedroom.
He looks at me, she says, Coco.
She wasn't.
No, man, she really likes you, man.
Of course. After all that build up.
Oh, God, when I told these, after we laughed all the way to Cape Town.
You know, I mean, do you have a lot of those gigs? I mean, as a band, I know I've been there, and it's just like
hysterical.
It's like you have one good gig, and it keeps you going for like the next.
No, but we couldn't find him that night. You see, we're driving around this little town.
We took them out of
They
our
went push.
And the guy
we're
was
trying
drunk,
to find
and
it, and we
the
find
guy
it.
was drunk.
We find it parked in the street, and we said, "That's the vehicle."
Yeah.
So we're standing behind the vehicle, and he comes out, and he's so pleased to see us. He runs away. He said, "Quick, go!"
I mean,
Eddie,
Might have lost him.
tell him about that time when the traffic cop pulled you over for speeding. You're on tour. And then when you got out, he said, just hang on, and he phoned his wife.
Oh, no, what happened was I was picking up my son from school.
Yeah.
Oh, was
He's
that?
about 5 or 6 at the time. But he's not there.
Okay.
But another little boy's there. He said, Eddie, can you take me home, mate? My mom says, can I get a lift home? I mean, really, a little thing. Anyway, well, I got this kid in the car and I'm
70s,
going
what?
down the main drag in Montreal there, and a cop stops me. Hello, Eddie. Hello. I said, yeah, you're speeding, my boy. And he's writing out a ticket and the car pulls up behind me. Yeah. It's his wife. And she comes, hello, Eddie. She says, are you giving him a ticket? He says, yes, I've got, he's with speeding. She says, okay, you give him that ticket, I'm taking your lunch home now. So he's still writing the ticket, she gets in the car, she starts it, he says, oh, okay, man. Another time, one of the last gigs we were doing is the Batty. We were playing in Margate, sort of. We were doing Rocky Horror then, well, at that time. Anyway,
How'd you do it?
on our way down to Cape Town with the band, we get stopped. And they're stopping like 5, 6 cars at a time. And they get to us, and the guy says, the Batty, yeah, you guys stay here. Yes, and they keep us another half hour while they ticket the guys there. Anyway, there's a chat, tell us a joke, and you're off again. He says, now listen, I'll catch you on the way up there. They're really going to get you a ticket. But anyway, about like the bets are split up. And it's about 8 years later, and I'm doing a gig in Margate. And I'm driving back to get to the airport. The guy stops. Looks and he says, I told you I'll catch you up.
Did he give you a ticket?
Huh?
Did he give you a ticket?
I think he, I'm not sure, I can't remember that. But another time, my wife always used to forget to pay the fines. And I have to go to Durban from Joburg. I have to fly the day before. And I get there and we're standing outside the place and the guys are all chatting to me. I said, hey, what are you here for? And what do you do? I said, listen, I'm telling you right now. Guys asked me what you do. I said, you get in there, you tell the truth. And you speak loud. Strong. I said, don't give them a story. This magistrate has heard every story in the land. Yeah, okay. So, we all got to walk in there, and as I sit down, the guy I've been talking to is the magistrate. First one up, Mr. Eckstein. Yes, Your Honor. My wife forgot to pay the fine. And he's sitting laughing. So I got away with paying the fine, but the contempt of court I had to pay.
Oh my word.
So plenty of those.
I'm sure, you know, it's like with you being like you were really a household name and such a recognizable face, especially after telephone quiz.
Yeah.
You know, turn on the telly. That whole thing. It must have been. I mean, I know even in PE, people know me from doing comedy, and in PE. I know wherever you go, you bump into people. And you can't get anything done.
Yeah.
You know, your wife drag you away. Does she go through phases of like?
Not so much now, but I mean, in early days of TV, when I started doing the bat stuff, and then built on pot roast.
Yes.
Oh, George.
And then I did Oh George.
Oh George.
Series,
Gee, was.
Then I mean, you walk down the street, and you're doing a gig in Kimberley or something. The whole street comes out of the shops. And then you go to a restaurant with the family now, they've got a night off. Back, never had a night off. Going with the family, and you're sitting down having a nice steak.
There's a guy. Hello,
baby. Come here, meet my wife, and the steak is going dry. And then they send a bottle of wine over to you. It's fantastic. But at the same time, I mean, I did learn one thing though. What's the word? I'm going not accept the fact that they want to say hello to you. You know, be as nice as possible to them. Because what you try to achieve in your life is what they're looking at.
Yes.
So you got to give them the word.
What they want.
Yes,
You know what I mean?
yes.
Ed,
And
that one guy who wrote on there, he wanted you to talk about Gordon and Pete Clifford.
Oh, yes, yeah. Let's have a quick look at some of the comments.
Yeah, let's get the
Gary,
comments.
quiz, make a comment, she's sure. See, we chat so much. Sometimes we ignore the comments so much. But you're so right that when you've got to say it, and it means so much to those people. Alta van Amerika, there we go. Eddie, remember the good old days at Verwoestsburgstad?
yes,
Woo! You're so neat.
I think I can remember that face too.
I'll show you. She's she's involved in so many charities. She does golf days and all sorts of
Oh,
things.
that's why.
And she's always
Vloei.
Floyd.
Wat soek jy in my kooi? Vloei, wat soek jy in my kooi? Ou vrou steek op die kers, daar's iets hier in my kooi. Steek nou op die kers, ou vrou, bliksem, dis 'n vloei.
There we go.
Now she remembers that. I mean, I only did that in the 60s.
No, I tell you what, she remembers because she actually messaged me before the show, and she said that was her nickname in the army. Amanda Fox. I just see Mitch Turner from all the way from America. Where's Mitch? I can't remember where it is. Is it? No, it's down there, down the bottom there, Gary. About fifth one up there. It's like I can't remember the
Mitch Turner.
Mitch Turner. There we go. Mitch is over in the States.
Wow.
Ex-JBPE Boyki.
Okay.
Really?
As well,
There you go. There you go.
Rory Norton, I see there. Digital is clinical, he says. Yeah, you're right. Analog is atmosphere. You're right, Rory Norton. And also just a lovely. They got that vinyl to a perfect point where the bass and the thing was all in that in that audible zone.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So the bass
Yes.
end was so nice and tight.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
That's true. I just see a couple of people say there, awesome to see the Bats again. Thank you, Jim, for making it. It's a pleasure.
Thank
Kathy
you.
Marsh, pop in tomorrow and see them live, Kathy. Sue Rhodes says a long ago I took part in TV telephone quiz. Oh, and Eddie was the warm-up act for the audience.
That's right,
You used to do warm-up stuff. You test your new material.
I had to work where you do the warm-up and then you do the show, you know.
So it was, because they knew, you see, the comedian.
Yeah.
You can also do a little bit of that too.
But Tony the King also used to do the warm-ups for that
For that show. Teddy Fun Quiz. And it was Sue, was it Sue Kelly Christie?
Yes.
Sue was the first one they did with me, and then there were two chicks after that.
Yes.
But very, very talented. In fact, the last chick that did it became a newsreader on CNN in America
Oh,
for a
wow.
while. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. And
Gordon
then,
and Pete, tell them a funny.
it's built on Potro stories. Can you remember any? I mean, Cyril Green used to do some amazing stuff.
Oh, Cyril.
Jeez, you
The Jewish stories he told her.
Oh,
Very
these
good.
Jewish stories.
Who all the guys in Built on the Potro? So it was
Len
Gordon
Davis.
Mulholland was ours.
No, Len Davis, Mel Miller,
Mel Miller. Oh my
Dennis
word.
McLean. I'm trying to think.
And
who
you.
the film was. Yeah, but I
Yeah.
came in only in the second series.
Second run.
So I think
Who was that?
Four
Cyril Geese?
aside. I think we were four aside. Four
He's just
English,
said him.
Four
Yes,
other-
yes.
four-
For
Who was the
English,
Pom?
English and
Bombs, Johnny
Johnny
Noble
Noble.
was one of them. The other little singer that went on tour with us.
Oh, Peter Hughes.
I think Peter Hughes was one.
Okay.
And there were a couple of other guys that.
okay, and Sue.
Hannah. I can't think of the names now.
Annabelle, not Annabelle Linda. Was she on? as
Annabelle.
well?
I don't think Annabelle.
No, Annabelle's South African.
Yeah, okay. She wasn't in the English side of it, but Sue. I think Sue must have been on.
Yeah,
as well.
Sue was with me and with
Yeah.
Martin Bailey.
What was
Martin
that
Bailey
chubby?
was
That
ex-chubby.
Martin Bailey.
He is
Yeah.
so good.
He's in Ireland now, isn't he?
Yes,
He's
that's
in
correct,
Ireland.
yeah.
Ireland. He's gone over again.
He's Ireland here.
He's
You better believe it, sir.
Any stories? Come on, Eddie. There must be something.
Yeah,
that
it's funny.
What is it? What's your standard when the guy says, "Come tell me a joke"? Because I get that as well.
That's the worst thing in the world
No,
for a
it's
comedian.
I know.
For me, like on the cuff like this,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
cannot think of one.
No, you can't think of
You
anything.
can't
No, I
think
get
of
it. I
a
totally
joke.
get it.
It's just one of those
No,
things.
it is. Yeah.
Unless you've come prepared with
Yeah,
one.
of course. Yeah.
And there's so many you can tell.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're
no.
just sort of blank. you
No,
know?
of course.
It's a crazy
of course,
thing.
but I mean, any stories that you remember about Built on the Podcast or doing the shows or anything? Or,
I was never on Built on.
yeah.
I'm
No.
allergic to it.
Yes.
Yeah, biltong and potato.
I'm a vegetarian.
Basically straight, you know, we weren't allowed to tell stuttering jokes and
Okay.
and that kind of
Yeah,
thing.
can't. Even then they were
Yeah.
no, gotta be. But it's political correctness.
Yeah,
and, you know,
yeah.
it's these
Tell
days.
him
got it.
about Oh God It's Beautiful. That's quite funny.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Now, Paul Ditchfield, the gentleman sitting over here,
Yeah.
wrote a song and entered it into a South African song competition.
Oh.
And his song, Oh God It's Beautiful, was chosen to represent South Africa at the Tokyo World Song Festival in 1972.
72?
That's right, 1972. Now, young Paul had to take a singer with him because he didn't sing the song. And I had been singing the song. So after looking for a tall, dark, handsome, good-looking singer for a while, I said, Paul, I'm available. And he thought a while and then finally decided to take me. So we went off to Tokyo, him and I. And on the way we stopped at Hong Kong and we stopped at Thailand.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Got to Tokyo and
Bangkok, yeah.
we got to the finals. And I must say, Henny Becker did the arrangements of this thing. And we had one rehearsal with like a 40-piece Japanese
52-piece orchestra.
Wow. And they had, I think, 8 singers.
Jeez.
And at the end of our run-through, all the violinists were tapping their thing for the song. Anyway,
Wow.
so the night arrives,
The
we've got to do the night, and I say to Paul, I've got phlegm, like nothing, I can't, it's just from nerves, it's just this.
This was at the Budokan Hall, eh?
On the top of it, he's standing in the queue now, and in front of me is an Australian chick who cannot speak. Pretty little thing, very good singer. I've heard her at the rehearsal, and she can't say a word. But there's an American guy standing there. He speaks like 6 languages, you know, for all the people coming in, and he's got a bottle of whiskey there. And as you get to the front, he pours want another one.
Yeah.
This chick went out. I promise you, beautiful. She could not speak. She was like,
Oh my word.
and the same thing happened
Whiskey.
to me too. I had whiskey and
Whiskey, yeah.
got rid of the phlegm.
Yeah,
But it shows you they know what you're going through. You know?
Yeah.
And it was very successful. We got into the finals for the next day. And we did very well for South
won
Africa.
millions of
Congratulations, Mr. Paul Ditchfield.
Absolutely.
What did you come?
But he was
15th,
amazing.
I think
He was
we got
amazing.
15th. I think 15th
The other
out of 45.
strange thing, you know, in those days you had to be hip. Eh?
Yeah.
So I went to a special time. I said, "Give me something really
Oh, yeah.
special because you want to
No,
be rock
no.
and roll." Eh?
Yeah.
So they made me a suit out of what's that soft leather they make?
Oh, yeah.
Chamois.
Chamois.
Chamois leather.
Well, it fitted me like a glove, and it looked horrible down there. And it was horrible, but I insisted on wearing it. I mean, that was just
Hong Kong.
what
This is in Hong Kong. They make it in
What an
one day.
idiot.
They make it in one day.
Yeah.
Do that the next day. You pick it up.
What an idiot. Anyway, what happened was, it's called Oh God It's Beautiful.
Yes.
I mean, I'm just
see
thinking
where that's going.
I'm thinking of the saying, Oh God It's Beautiful.
Yes.
Not, I go
Well,
to church
God is
because of
wonderful.
God.
Yes,
It's just,
yes,
it's
yes.
just
Yeah.
my goodness, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
But in the end of the song, it says, and I told him, Lord, to turn if things got rough. I said, you'd be there night and day as if it's not enough. Oh God, it's beautiful. But that just happens to be the song. So guys come and interview me before he goes on. So, you write a song, man. I said, you're writing other things. I said, I didn't know they were religious people. I said, listen, I write like a rabbit fornicates. They went,
For Christian TV.
What a folk off.
I think that's why you didn't come first.
Oh my goodness gracious. So I blame you, do I?
No,
No,
blame you.
yeah,
Oh, it's good. No, it's good.
Yeah.
But I mean, Paul, obviously, you say you write all the time like that.
Yeah.
So that's just how your mind works. Always looking for hooks and lines and songs and
No,
you write down stuff down.
Ideas come all the time.
How do you record it? How do you write it down?
No, I don't record it. I write them. I write them
Write
out.
them out.
And the lyric, polished till it's
Yeah.
clever.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's
Yes.
you know, that's it.
Yes.
But I mean, it's a wonderful talent, and I appreciate the given talent. But
Yeah.
I don't nothing to record it on.
Yeah. Okay.
I can play it on piano and sing it to you, but that's
Yeah.
it.
And you write stuff as well, Eddie. I mean,
No,
you're
I'm not. I've sometimes helped occasionally here and there, you know.
Okay.
But I'm not one of those chaps. I'm just
Never
the old
too old.
brother, you know. But I must tell you, the Sunday now, this is Saturday night, Sunday, Japanese guy, California, I want to record you. I want to record, oh God, you're beautiful. Okay. So you pick you up, pull him up and take him to his house, and he's going through, because I look for chairman CBS record company, because he knew he was from CBS.
Okay.
He gets this sort of a backing band and a studio, everything within 2 hours.
Whoa.
And here I do, I put the song down, we sing it, we go back to Joburg, and we get it there, the whole orchestra's being put on there, the whole lot.
Yeah.
We release the record and it's going well, and then the SABC bans it.
Because they've got in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God in it.
Yeah, I see that.
We could have
And
had a huge
I
hit
think it would have
there.
been a huge hit for us. But
You
Yeah.
know, Kate Bush had just had a resurgence with her song on because of this Stranger Things that's been on kids TV.
Yes, okay, yeah.
It's a horror thing
Yeah.
as well. But I just watched the series and I just read up about this because I loved that album of hers in the 85 I think it was that she released it, and it was called Running Up the Hill. But the alternative title was had the word God in it as well. It was somebody can put it online. I can't remember what. It's in brackets. It's in brackets in the song because they said that the guys would ban it in Australia. They'd ban it in South Africa. They banned it because it had the word God in the title.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's what I think you should have just called it.
No,
something.
oh Lord is beautiful. No, they didn't.
Yeah.
No, but they would have passed that.
Yes, I know what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So if you put it in brackets, you know, you would have been a billionaire.
But let me tell you about that session.
Yeah.
This wonderful man
Yes.
goes in there to the session. Now, this is the session afterwards to the recording he's just referring to. And he gets in there and it goes, at the end he goes, oh God, it's beautiful. I mean, full voice,
Yeah.
C.
Oh man.
C, dude.
Yes, sir.
And he gets in there and he nearly gets it. And he nearly gets it and then he hits it. And then he hits it. I thought, my goodness, it's a top C.
Yeah.
He doesn't sing top C.
didn't
Now
know what
you-
a top C was.
No, he just pulls it
Yeah,
out.
Dobby.
And he did it. It was phenomenal.
Yeah, thanks,
Yo,
Paulie.
well, that's
that
brilliant.
was wonderful.
Phenomenal.
But obviously, one of the biggest things of my career.
Yeah.
But you can
Only time
imagine,
with a huge orchestra.
imagine his nerves.
No.
He's coming out to sing this song.
Yeah.
This one little oak
Yeah.
on the stage. This massive orchestra. Huge, going worldwide.
Budokan.
Worldwide, but he live.
TV, yeah.
Live.
Live.
Oh,
Canadian.
And he didn't make any mistakes. No mistakes.
Yeah.
No mistakes.
Oh,
I think there's a pile of crap where
No, there was one thing wrong. Henny Becker had written the last chord as a minor, I think, and it wasn't. Remember? And then, yes. And I couldn't pitch the note. We were practicing it.
Oh, because of the chord changes.
Because of the damn
The chord
change.
changes in there, yeah.
Okay.
Right at the last,
Yes,
the
that's
last
good.
chord.
No.
Last chord.
And then you're
That's right.
panicking that you're not going to reach that note.
Yeah.
You.
You know, well, and I think that lost a few places for me. I think it wasn't as confident as it would have been. You know?
No, but you did it.
Yeah. No, it was wonderful. I mean,
And you got the recording still, have you? You got some-
yeah.
Great. Because that's what you need. I mean, that's your.
But
it's
you
a
know what
moment
happened-
in
But
time.
we used to
Yes,
do
no,
that live, you know, and
Yeah.
it really went down well, you know. And
He does a funny
he can't-
Japanese
he can't-
intro.
yeah, but it's very funny. But you know, the trouble is now because he can't reach the notes, you know.
Yes,
He has-
But he doesn't
Well,
have
take
to
it down.
now.
Well, he can reach the notes, but we have to utilize the flyer.
Yes, the flyer. I just remembered. I see Gary put it up. It's called a deal with God. It was running up that hill, but in the brackets, a deal with God. She wanted to know what a deal with God. I said no, I can't. And it's funny that you bring that up now.
No, but
to say it.
say how many years later it happened when they unbanned it. Yeah.
No, they banned that, and then when we did it on that live TV show, Ronnie Wilson called me and asked him.
How much
Ronnie
later?
Wilson said, "I'm told you are not allowed to do this song again on South African shows." And then I was doing about 20 years later, 8 years later, they sat me down at the reception and said, "Just like it is, just like the guy called George Hayden, they see me singing some of the box contain or something. And I do the song Big Fat Mama. Big Fat Mama, yes indeed. Fat Mama loves all my body and soul. Well, bad.
I mean, really?
Because
Bandit.
he's saying soul, so the band.
With all your heart, I love with all my heart and soul.
Little Richard would never have got off the ground in this. Every song was like from a preach thing, you know.
Yeah, you'd think that they had in their hands full enough trying to get the stars onto the Scope magazine.
That was 1960. At the same time I did Floyd. Okay, and McCoy. Oh, Floyd, hier komt die kerstnaam. Iets hier in McCoy. Geef nou op die kerstnaam. Ai, nou, dis 'n
I see Judy say, says Martin Bailey lives in Cornwall in the UK.
Ah, thank
That's
you,
right,
Judy.
Cornwall.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's Cornwall. That's where he is. Oh, excellent. Let's have a look at some of the other ones as well. The comments here quickly. Love these guys. Part of our DNA. Debbie Pretoria says.
Thank you, Debbie.
Oh, lovely. Thank you.
Part of the DNA, indeed. Barbara Gunn. Barbara Manor is she's the mayor of PE.
Mayor of PE?
No,
Really?
just about no.
That's it. Well, you mean,
the metaphorical
Graham
mayor.
Voss,
Graham Voss.
that was the
Yes.
he was the man, he was the
Sunset
yeah, he was
National.
the manager of the hotel that
Cornwall.
spoke to me. Remember I said to me
Yes.
that I got sick just before
Yes.
the gig.
Oh,
Because
yes.
Graham was the manager. Eddie, how are you? No, I'm fine. I'm ready for the show. Right. 5 minutes later,
Well, you remember
take
that
me to
Graham?
hospital. The show runs an hour and a half late. They put me on pipes and everything. You play the gig.
Got back again.
Next day,
Yeah.
I take the same medication again because you don't know what's causing it.
Yeah.
5 minutes before the show, Ed, how you feeling? Like, Graham, not a problem.
5 minutes
Back
before
in the
the
hospital again. That's they booked us. That never get booked again by this time.
Gary booked him.
Gary Hemmings.
And so you got
booked
sick.
us.
And I don't know if Graham must have known that it was medication that you were taking that
Yeah.
was making you sick.
No, and
So you take the medication before
Yeah.
you go on stage. Come on, I'm going to be better now.
Yeah.
Now I'm feeling good.
Well, I didn't take any medication for a week. And I was on holiday in Leicester, and I said to my wife, okay, I'll take the medicine again.
Yeah.
3 hours later,
That's cool. Learning from your mistakes.
yes, so take me to this little clinic in Ditchfield.
Yeah.
And I'm lying there, and I am sick as a
Real
dog.
shame.
And they take me in an ambulance to Neisner. And the doctor says, just tell his wife to bring the tablets there. And he gets me there, and I got tubes down here, and they're pumping me. And they put all the tablets down here. He says, this lot and this lot don't work.
Oh, together.
Yeah, he says, I think it's the cause. This is the cause.
Yeah.
He says, so tomorrow it's eggs and bacon. And if you keep it down, we found the problem.
Oh my word.
And they
Graham,
found the problem. That was it.
Graham Best. All right, Eddie, it's your time to go sit
Yes.
in the peanut gallery. And we've got Pete up.
Pete!
Oh, you want me to go?
Pete's
Yeah.
up. Pete's
I
up.
was just settling into another drink here.
No, get up there.
Listen, while he's there, can I go for a...
Give me a gin and tonic there when you please.
Wait,
In the fridge. There's a blue one.
wait.
Did he, where you going? What's a flake?
That's it, I'm fine.
You're on. Pete's on.
me
We've
pull
got
my
drinks
cup
in there
back.
as well.
Okay.
On the other side, Eddie.
I've got one poured there, Paul. Just pass that up.
What do you want?
I'm going to do a Dave Allen.
Are you going to do a
There
dive
we go.
on him?
We've got the
I'm doing
whiskey.
the drinking there.
Dive on him.
Because this is the rock and roller of the group. I can see this.
Yeah,
This
this
is the
is
one.
the rocker.
Now, Pete, I believe you played some guitar with a number of famous people in your life. Other than these
We've done
guys
a bit
as
of
well.
homework, eh?
Yeah, I heard that Pete Clifford had played with all sorts of people.
Yeah, I did. Dusty Springfield, Tom Jones. Were
Tom
my
Jones?
two- Yeah, Tom Jones.
Talking about Welsh people.
I'm from Wales. From Welsh Wales.
He was
No, he was very nice man. But Dusty,
strong voice, man.
Wow,
That guy's
yeah.
got a voice.
I worked with the two best singers in England. One female, Dusty Springfield, who was by far the best singer in England at the time, and Tom, of course, who was by far the best male singer.
Absolutely amazing.
And I must say, we toured. Now, you were talking earlier about the Beach Boys.
Yes.
Now, let me tell you, the British bands were so rehearsed in those days that you had little bands like the Searchers that we toured with and went to America with, and of course the Beatles, but they weren't the only ones. I mean, there was the Big Three, and well, there was stacks of them.
Yeah,
Jerry and the Pacemakers.
Yeah, they all had "the" in front of their name. I noticed that.
Yeah,
something.
yeah, but they were all.
Searchers, the Beatles.
They may not have had ridiculous players in the band, but they were all tight.
Yeah.
Now we go over, I think it was ourselves, that was Dusty and the
Not
band.
the Bats, he's talking about the Echoes.
Yeah,
The Echoes. Okay.
Yeah, that was the Echoes. But we went over to America with the Echoes and with Dusty, we were Dusty's backing band.
Okay. Wow.
So we go over and there was the Searchers and there was another singer, I can't remember his name, from England, and there was Dusty. And I'm standing, and now we're standing in the wings watching the setup there. And, and I said, "Who's that?" And I said, "No, that's the Beach Boys."
Yeah.
Well, you know, these guys just couldn't tune up their guitars. And I said to Mike Pinder, the lead guitarist, "Do you think we should go and help them?" He said, "No, they'll get upset, you know."
I get upset.
Yeah, so we didn't go, but it was amazing how bad they were.
Really? Okay, live.
Yeah, I mean, the band you hear from Good Vibrations on is a very good rock band and vocal band, you know.
Brilliant, brilliant.
But as soon as the British bands went in there, I think we dropped a time bomb into America, you know.
Yes.
In the 60s.
Yeah.
But it was great going there. Great going there.
So you had some tours. I mean, you went
all over England. I worked with every single big name, the Animals, Herman's Hermits, Brian Paul and the Tremolos. We toured Australia with them. All the big bands, you know. All of them are,
Fury.
Yeah, but Jerry and the Pacemakers, they were. That was a very funny little man, that Jerry Marsden. Oh yeah.
When you
I was watching
walk.
TV. Well, yeah, he did When You Walk Through a Storm, you know, little Jerry.
Yeah.
Now we did that one in America with him. In Australia with him, and we didn't think anything of it.
Yeah.
But I was watching TV about 6 months ago, and I'm watching the TV and I'm thinking, oh, they've got something on at Liverpool there. What's that? They're playing Jerry's song. And the spotlight goes out into the middle, and there's this little old man singing.
That was quite a long time ago.
Jerry.
Yeah, I think he's dead, died since. Bless him. But I thought, that's Jerry. And I suddenly thought, look at yourself, Pete Clifford. I mean, I've got a picture of us on the wall, Jerry Marsden, myself and the whole crew leaving for Australia. Jeez. And I mean, we were about 20 at the time, you know. Very interesting.
And so then you came here, joined these, and your career just went to crap.
It's been all downhill since
I'll
then.
tell you the truth. I got back to England after I left Dusty, and I joined Tom Jones for a bit, and I think I was with him for about a couple of months, maybe 3 months touring. And he got his. I stood in for his guitarist, and I wasn't actually with the Squires. And then.
Was the Squires his band?
Yeah, his band. But I got very friendly with him.
The Squires.
The Squires, indeed. Obviously, they were like begging him to come back eventually, clearly.
So we got...
So a chase like this. It's just... I can't handle him anymore.
So anyway, what was I saying?
No, you got
Tom Jones.
You're playing with the band, so with Tom
Yeah.
Jones.
Oh yes,
He
so
came-
now
yeah.
yeah, but I came back and I had a friend, Brian Gibson, who used to work the American Air Force bases.
Okay.
We had a little band that we used to go and do that, and I said, I don't know what we're going to do now. He said, let's go to South Africa. I said, what for? He said, because we could get a contract there. I said, what? A contract? Because in England you didn't get a contract.
Oh.
You know, you did gigs and you did like they do now.
Yeah.
And I said, well, that's interesting. I said, all right, let's see what we can do. And he came up with a contract. We sailed out with a little band and started at the Alfresco Terrace where the Bats were playing round the corner. So we got very friendly.
Were
with
they
the
playing the
Bats.
dodgy place
Yeah.
around the corner? You were
Coffins, with the coffins.
Yeah, well, you were the coffins, and you were obviously the Lani.
Yeah, we were up overlooking the yacht basin.
Oh, lovely! It must have been wonderful.
Yes, it was.
Yes, better than shit all around the corner, for sure.
Private school, you know, private school.
Right.
Anyway, I go back to England with a guy called Johnny Congas. I don't know if you know.
Yes,
Johnny
yes, his sons have got this amazing
Yeah,
band.
Congas,
The Congas.
yeah.
I love the Congas. Yes, so he was here as well, yeah.
And we're in Germany.
He also
and
had a
I'm-
hit as well.
Yes, he's going to step on you again. It was his big hit in England, I think. But he also brought out a thing called Linda Loves Linda and
Name of the band?
One Way Street. Floribunda Rose, because it was the old flower bar days, you know.
Oh, yes.
Anyway, I'm freezing my balls off in Germany.
Yes.
And I get a phone call from Paul. He said, Pete, he says, Jimmy's left. And I said, what? He said, Jimmy's up and gone. And Jimmy had done a flyer. I won't go into detail about that, but anyway.
You said you weren't swingers.
He's done a...
Oh, that's a lucky guess, all right?
So I said, now what? Now, so he said, why don't you come and join us? So I said, well, let me think of it. And I said, I'll phone you back tomorrow. Phone you back and accept it, you know.
Peter, just tell him who found you in the meantime.
Well, no, in the meantime, I'd been gigging, and I've been doing gigs with Richie Blackmore.
Oh, cool.
Deep Purple.
Deep Purple, yes, absolutely.
And he says to me, Pete, don't you want to play bass and come with me to Japan? And I said, what do you want to go there for?
Big in Japan.
I said, I want to go and sit in the sun in South Africa. I said, what do I want to go to Japan for? No,
How about Deep Purple?
He said, I've got a good band. He said, I've got this keyboard player. You want to hear him?
John Lord.
His name is John Lord.
Oh, God.
So I said, yeah, but I don't know, Richie. So, because I really admired Richie's playing, you know. So he said, well, look, think about it. And I thought about it. I thought, no, I don't want to do that. But look,
In
I
hindsight,
can
So he joined the best.
I can live
And now
without.
he's in PE.
I can live without owning a yacht, you know.
what's it? It's just stuff, you know.
Yes.
And what's the other English band that you didn't want to go join?
Oh, I've got a few, but the one that was very strange was the Kinks.
Oh, the Kinks.
Oh,
that's
the
right.
Kinks.
I went into Muswell Hill. My girlfriend there was working in the restaurant. She said, there's a couple of brothers, we want you to try and help them out. I said, what must I do? I was with Dusty at the time. And they said, no, they're trying to launch themselves with these songs. And I said, well, what must I do? She said, just come and help them. So I went there and I had a spaghetti bolognese with them or something. I'm sitting down talking to these two. I said, well, show me what you're doing. So they take me back to their place. Die on, da dee 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 dee, da dong, da dee dee dee. And I thought, what shit is this? I said, no, I don't think it's my sort of thing. Now so I turned it down.
A real
So he
ear.
dumped Deep Purple and he dumped the Kinks.
A real ear for
Now-
good bands.
Now, at the same time,
If I'd have heard that riff, I'd have said yes.
Yeah.
Because I'm a riff
Yeah,
man.
me
Totally.
too. Yeah, me too.
I'd have got it
Yeah.
straight away.
It's like
So
down,
then-
down.
Yeah,
yeah,
same
but you
thing.
should have heard them sing. I mean, that was terrible.
Yeah.
Anyway, I thought they were terrible. So I go back and I had this bass player called Peter Quaife, and who later became their bass
Yeah.
player because I said to him, listen, Peter, and I was trying to find a reason to fire him because I wanted another friend of mine to come in and play bass.
Because it's all about nepotism here, apparently.
So
Nothing's changed.
So I said to him, look, Peter, I've got a nice gig for you with a nice little band. They're called the Kinks. So anyway, I fired him, obviously, and he was a bit upset, you know. And the bass player I got in was John Paul Jones.
Oh! Oh, could have joined Zeppelin.
He became a good friend of mine for a long time, and I knew Jimmy Page.
Yeah.
I knew both of them. But anyway,
I love John Paul Jones. He's
a few months later, we were doing one of these Ready Steady Go shows with Dusty Springfield in England, and I suddenly saw that they were on as well, the Kinks, and they'd had 2 hits by then, and I was, I was really angry about this. I missed the boat. You know? So I go into the green room, and there sitting at the bar is Peter Quaife, but he's all dangling with jewellery, and he's. I said, looking good, Peter. He said, yes. He said, I'm very well, thank you, Pete. He said, would you like a drink? I said, yes, I'll have a double. And which he quickly poured me. And we sat there. He said, you gave me the job. He said, you fired me and gave me the job. He said, thank you so much. And I made me a fortune. It was choking me, but I said, you're welcome. Yeah. Anyway, that's that story. And of course, I knew all those guys. I mean, London was a small scene in those days, so I knew Clapton, and I knew all these, Jimmy Page, as I said, I did quite a few gigs with Jimmy Page. And I mean, we were 18 years of age when we started, you know.
Pete, please tell him about Tom Jones stealing your girlfriend and your revenge. Please tell him that one.
Tom Jones,
my favourite.
I've got some praise.
Okay. So we're on tour with Tom Jones. So I'm very friendly with the heavyweight boxer Tommy Cooper.
Yeah.
No, not Tommy Cooper.
Henry
Cooper.
Henry Cooper.
Not Tommy Cooper. You know.
Yeah, Tommy Cooper. He'll pull something out of his head.
This is just like that. Just
This is like
watch.
Anyway, he had a cousin called Beryl, very pretty girl, and we were out and having supper, and I get to know her, and I said to her, I really fancied this chick, and I said, don't you want to come to come and see a show with me in Birmingham? She said, who's doing the show? I said, Tom Jones, and her eyes lit up, and I said, yeah. I said, I'm his guitarist now. So she said, okay, yes. So I'll pick her up and we drive
It
off.
should have been a clue. She said very quickly.
Yes.
She said no to Pete Clifford, but yes to Tom.
Yes, exactly. Anyway,
I'll get
want to
there.
come out for a date? Oh no. Look at John Jones. Yes.
Yeah.
So she's backstage. I knew I was sort of treading dodgy ground, but still. We get to the show and then there's the after party. So I take her to the after party. I'm getting us a drink. I turn to see her talking at the bar with Tom Jones. And the next minute they're gone. So she turns up next morning at my hotel and she says, she said, we sat talking. I said, yeah. Well, here's a beer's train fare. You can go home now. So I kicked her out. So anyway, I didn't say a word to Tom, but we were playing his hometown of Cardiff. So we get there and we're playing this place called the Mummy Club. And we get into the Mummy Club and there's all these fans there. Tom, sing us a song, Tom. So anyway, Tom says, go up and see what that keyboard player, we had a keyboard player with a pop machine, you see.
Okay.
So I go
Pop machine.
Yeah.
You mean like
It's
a drum
like
machine?
a
drum
called 55.
Pop
A drum machine.
Yeah.
Called
You're
55.
going to translate the technical terms.
So
They were
I go
called
up.
mini pops, eh? That's what they were
Oh,
called.
really? Okay. Mini
So I
pops.
said, do you know it's not unusual? So he said, yes. Now normally Tom did this thing in D, you see.
Okay.
So I said, do you know the chords? I said, yeah. He said, do you know it in E? And that's the tone up. Anyway, he says, let me just run through it. He said, I can hear him practicing the chords. Yeah. So Tom said, can you do it? I said, yeah, he's all right. He said, you sure? I said, yeah, I'm positive. I've checked him out. He's told me he can do them. No problem. I said, look, if he stuffs up, it's not going to be my fault. He said, no, of course not. He said, anyway, I'm going up. So they invite him up and he goes, and of course there's that bit in it. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah. He goes up. And I could see the veins on his neck sticking out. I thought, well, he's going to pop his bloody veins in. And he comes off afterwards. I said, that's pinching my chick.
Oh my word.
Oh, was she yours? He says. I said, yeah, she was.
Oh, I didn't know.
But he was a lovely man. Lovely.
Not unusual.
It's not unusual. But I think you didn't tell him that you actually came out to South Africa.
That
South
was the
Africa
funny
with
one,
Dusty.
yeah.
Oh, Dusty.
That's where we met him.
Yes, I came out before anything.
Yeah.
Dusty did a tour here.
Okay.
Oh, which I tried hard to forget because we nearly ended up in jail because our manager decided the biggest publicity stunt was to get us to play to a mixed audience. You know. Oh.
Yeah.
What's that little Luxorama theatre down in...
Three Arts.
No, it wasn't the Three Arts.
Cape Town
it was
was
the
no,
Luxorama.
Joburg was the first one, the town hall.
The
City Hall.
Luxorama, the coloured one, further down.
But didn't you play at the Three Arts?
Yeah, we played the Three Arts and the Luxorama.
Okay.
So it was a mixed audience, of course, then the apartheid government at that time.
Oh, they sent the boys down, they deported them, and I said, you can't deport me. I said, I'm just an employee.
Yeah.
And of course that ostracised me from the band, and I sort of thought, no, it's time to leave.
Okay.
And
Gee whiz.
no.
So yeah, so that was, and then you had to join them. Of course, you were arrested, and then you had to join them.
Yeah.
It's a prison band.
No,
Yeah,
but
now
first
what
came
that
out
guy was
here.
doing, what the manager was doing was buying tickets
Yeah.
and giving it to
Black.
people
The
of
townships.
colour.
Okay.
And the
Yeah.
first one was Johannesburg City Hall.
Okay.
So that's what he did.
And then he used
and
to
then we were
phone.
saying to him,
Okay.
when we were in Cape Town, I got in your room, I've got like the main games, come on now, get ready to come on.
Yes.
I used to say, because they were talking about how terrible it was that we can't play about people. We said, listen, guys, they listen to you. They listen
Yeah.
to you. To hear every word you're saying.
Yeah.
So you-
Okay. Yeah.
But they also-
they got you on the earphones.
They also that guy used to phone the press
Yeah.
and he phoned the police.
Yeah.
So that they'd all arrive that
Oh,
night.
so
And then he'd
actually
make
get-
sure that the world press was there. And then Dusty would get this massive publicity from all over the
Which
world.
actually
We got to
backfired.
London Airport.
Yeah, did
Every
Shame.
I've got pictures of us on the front of every national paper in England.
Wow.
We made the front
Well, it
page.
worked. You know.
His ploy worked, yeah. But
I don't know if
But I
it was
think
so.
it
It
didn't
wasn't
help
for the
her
right
in the end, I
reasons.
don't
no, he
Yeah.
could have ended us in a lot of cuck.
Yeah. Gee was
Anyway,
incredible. Those in those days. I mean, well, you know, that's what you had to deal
no, it
with.
was heavy. It was heavy. Anyway, I came out and joined the Bats in '68,
Okay.
and I came from Scotland. And it was 10 degrees, it was 10 degrees below, and the Firth of Forth was rocking like this. And I get on the plane and I travel with this hot tweed jacket and boots, and I travel to Durban, and I get out,
my word.
and now I can't breathe.
They got,
I'm like underwater.
yeah, the heat, unbelievable.
Yeah, humility.
Oh man, guys! But I don't know if there's any story. I'd love to just hear this as a sort of finale. We already an hour and a half already. We didn't even know we were in an
Okay.
hour. It's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Really lovely,
And I
yeah.
know, I love it. I love it.
Time flies when you're having
there's-
fun.
And there's no rules, so we don't.
Yeah.
But I'd love to. If any funny stories that you guys have got about traveling in a band. I mean, I heard Ken J. Larkin was on the
Yeah,
other
what
day.
a guy.
And then we had the band in as well, and they were talking about where they had a combi where they had to ride. They ran out. What did they do? They didn't have first gear, or they didn't have first and second gear. They only had fourth gear. That's right. They had fourth gear and reverse.
Oh my
So they used to ride in fourth gear and then get it going on the flats.
And reverse
and
up
then
the hill.
And reverse up the hills.
No, my lord.
I mean, bands have always got these kind of stories, you know. Did you ever bat it up?
I must just tell you one story.
Yes.
That I'll never forget this because it was actually quite terrifying.
Yeah.
The Bats did 2 shows, a Friday and a Saturday night, at the Carousel Casino, which is now closed, on the Petersburg Road, on the N1.
Okay, yes, the Carousel.
So now they hire us, but we're playing in the Cheyenne Saloon.
Yeah. Yes.
Massive. I mean, it's got like 4 stories. But the lighting is up there, and when it shines on you, you cannot see diddly in front of you. You can't see the audience at all.
Yeah.
So they built the stage because they had dancing girls.
Yeah.
And it's in half circles.
Oh.
But the steps on the 2 sides half circles. The front hasn't got steps.
Okay.
So Lofty here, he's got the mic and he's up front and he's doing that song that we do, Cricket. He's got the radio mic with him. And he's going, Cricket, and Pete's watching his feet and he's going closer and closer to the edge and Pete's going, Eddie. And Eddie's just carrying on, oh, cricket, what a wonderful. And he's gone. But on the side, they had stainless steel high-rise bar tables where people sat around. And it had like a blade, the corner. And I watched his head go past and miss it by about that much.
Under the, so he's under
So
the
now
table.
he's gone down and he's under, but it's black. Because Paul jumps off the keyboard. Eddie, you're right. You're right. And it's pitch dark. The audience, they think it's part of the act.
Yeah, of course.
And then out of the darkness we hear, cricket! Oh, cricket! Yes, like. So then he gets up and we finish. Now we go and sleep in the staff quarters that night.
Yes.
Next day we come back. Now we do the show again.
Yeah.
So we get to this part. Now Eddie's staying well away from the. And we finish the show. And now after every show we go to the back and sit at the table and sign the CDs that they bought.
Yes.
So the one guy comes up and he says to Eddie, "No man," he said, "why didn't you go off the stage tonight like you did last?" He said, "I brought my mate from Victoria to see it and you didn't do it." I mean, really.
Yeah, and I mean, what about the worst places you've ever had to stay as a band?
The worst place we stayed, I don't think we've had really
Well, always
bad.
want to hear about the crap stories because the good ones are like,
Yeah.
like a fire, you know.
I'm trying to think.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe how we can end is I normally ask my guests sort of your worst gig and your best gig, especially with musos. Your most embarrassing gig and your best one.
I think the worst one was the one you told you
Yeah,
about
that's
the West Coast.
West Coast.
West Coast.
Oh,
and you earned
man.
nothing, and you had to try back.
I wasn't
we
there.
got there.
Yeah.
No, it was horrific.
And a long way. And the way I
We're
booked
driving
it,
along the beach,
the way I
you know.
booked it, we were all over the place. I mean, it was like
Yeah.
4 or 5 hours drive each way. From Cape Town, the next day was another 5 hours.
no,
to travel.
no,
Oh,
it was-
yeah.
Yo.
That was
No, it was
disgusting.
murder.
Other ones we did was that one where we played Newcastle and I'd forgotten where I booked the place. We
KZN.
went to the wrong venue. We went like to the Free State. And then we had to rush to Newcastle.
Oh, this is amazing.
Thank you for cell phones.
Yeah, I don't know. Was it cell phone?
Those days you
No,
couldn't.
nothing. No, there's
You lost, boy.
He's got a nice story though.
what?
He was booked in Oxford, was it?
Box.
Oh no, that's with
Tell him that one. That's
Lance
very-
James books me.
Lance
So,
Last James, Big Daddy.
Yeah, Big Daddy books me. Eddie, you know this Springwood Hall? He said, yeah, we played this, back played it a couple of times. He says, well, I've got a gig for you there. Da da da. Just as the name of the guy. You
Corporate
go do the
function.
gig, corporate functions.
Lekker.
I said, but now I've already booked a gig in Pretoria.
Okay.
So he says, no, you go on early. You go on early.
Oh,
I've
yeah.
arranged it. So he phones it back. I get there and I've got the guy's name and I say to people, please, can you get hold of this guy? People go and they come back and say, sorry, we can't find him. Can't find him. Anyway, so now it's getting late.
Yeah.
And the people start going out to get dinner. And I'm standing on the stage, the band saying, I didn't know you were booked. I said, yeah, no, Lance booked me. And I said, it was last minute stuff. So I do the cabaret virtually to an empty hall.
Yeah.
Drive to bloody Victoria, do my other gig.
Yeah.
Monday morning, last function. Where were you? So what are you talking about? Where was I? I said, I did a gig in Springs. I did the gig. I said, it was the strangest gig ever. I said, the people were playing. I said, you know. So he says, then he phones me back. He says, there was another hall there. So I actually sent that company an account. And the manager, the managing director finds back, you've got 2 chances. But I promised him, I said, I'll catch you at some other time.
Yeah.
And I did get a gig with him and I doubled the price.
Good. That company. No, because he's always the gigs. The gigs are the best stories from bands. I mean, working together as like a brotherhood, you know. You get to know each other so well.
Well, we've done a couple of baddies, you know.
Yeah.
But it's like you.
Not
We
too
leave here
many.
now. We're going to remember them. Oh, why did you remember that one?
If you had to describe each character, you guys describe each character.
Pete.
Pete,
Wait,
yes.
call
You're not allowed to talk. Only they can talk.
Pete's
Pete?
all right.
He's okay.
You know,
He likes his occasional dope.
people have said, if you had to choose a member of the band and you're stuck on a lonely island, you've got to pick one of them. I'd pick Pete.
Yeah, I think I agree
I'd
with
pick
you.
Pete.
He knows how to fish.
No, no, I think he's just
No, he's amiable.
he's amiable and
Yeah.
and seeing we're both born in England,
Yes.
there's just something that he's got.
Yes.
I can't put a
It's
number on
the
it.
humor as
I
well.
love these guys just as much.
Oh, no, you don't.
Except you.
Don't touch me.
Except you.
But there's one thing about Pete. He doesn't
That's
know
weird.
he doesn't know how to whisper.
No, you know, if you're staying in say digs and stuff,
Yes.
and you've all got your own room. Ah, love, how you doing? No, he's got this huge voice. He should have been an actor. He should have been an actor. You can hear everything. So we're all in our various rooms listening to the
You
conversation.
know how to project.
He's got a huge voice.
No, we've got a backup plan. If the PA ever folds, he does all the singing.
And all of you describe Eddie as a character. What would you say
No,
is standout traits?
No,
I think
Eddie's
I'm
just a
quiet.
lovely
I
man.
think people don't realize how quiet I am, really.
No, he
Is
is.
he lying? Is he lying?
Can I chip my bit in?
Yeah.
I will say that if you go to Rye, Eddie will be the guy that doesn't tell any jokes. That's number one.
Yeah.
But number two, through all my friendship of plenty years, I think Eddie's greatest thing that stood out to me is his generosity.
Yeah,
He's a giver
yeah.
in everything,
Yeah.
not just money,
Everything.
but everything. Yeah.
Does he give you money?
Only if I beg.
Not just money, he said. It's already, he's got it in the bank already.
Yeah.
Eddie, no, but I've heard that about you, Eddie, from other people as well.
Thank you.
And they're all liars.
They're all lies.
All lies.
But I mean, obviously, and like you say, because you've had that huge what do you call it, like a brand, that
Yeah.
Eddie Eckstein brand is different. It's not easy when everybody in the country knows your face to walk around and get swamped all the time.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah. You do get used to it. As I say, I think you've got to be humble about
yeah,
it.
you got it, and you got to treat them with you got to see it from their side. I think.
Yeah.
I think you.
They're excited to see you.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Do
you
your
know,
thing,
just
yeah.
be honest with them. You know?
Yeah.
One of the funniest was,
Yeah.
I was catching a plane from Cape Town to Johannesburg.
Yeah.
And at the time of TV and Biltong Potters and all
Yes.
that, and O George. And when you walk, you can sense people talking about
Yeah.
it.
Yes.
And I look around, and it's Christian Barnard, the doctor, pointing me out to his kids.
Heart transplant.
Lovely.
I thought that was the best. That was the best.
You should have said, I want to book you for later.
Yeah, true.
But I mean, that also helps with connection. Paul, you absolutely know as well. A very recognizable person, and it helps with the connections. You know, all of a sudden you can connect people together. If you need something to get done, you know who to phone.
no,
you know?
true.
Yeah.
Yeah, but generally speaking,
Yeah.
if you talk about us three,
Yeah.
And Derek as well, in a way.
Gee, thanks.
No, I'm saying you in a way because I'm going to talk about time. I mean, when you've known guys for 50 years, you know, you sort of know all their faults, you know all their good points,
What buttons to push.
and you know, yes, there's nobody knows how to push my buttons like one of these guys.
Yeah.
And they usually
All
push
of
the
us,
right
yeah.
ones, you know.
Yes.
Listen, a band like this Batty, is like a marriage.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're going to be good
You
days.
want to get divorced, but you
You can't divorce them.
Yeah.
No,
That's like this
and
thing.
the other thing about this band is, unlike other bands that I was ever in, usually there's the talent and the rest. And then there's another band where maybe there's a talent there and a talent there and the rest.
Yeah.
In this band, we don't work that way. Everybody can
Is
do
featured.
something, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
So when you see a batch show, it's 4 different characters who can stand up and do something. As you know, we've all sat in this little hot seat here,
Yeah.
and we can all do our little bit of talking.
For sure.
But the band is, I've thought what made us so different, and it's nothing to do with making records or making hits. Or we had a few hits, but nothing like the amount that we probably should have had. But our popularity came from our live performances, and that's a big one. And I must say that because of our thing in Cape Town, if you would ask me the best gig we ever did, for me, was when we got back together again and we went down to the Baxter Theatre.
Oh,
And,
yes, sir.
And we're playing to a packed audience
After
that
20
night.
About
years.
700,
This
800
is after 20 years of
Yes.
not playing. And we think, oh, well, good luck, guys. This is it. This is it. We've got to go on now. The Bats. And we run out.
Yeah.
And these people just stood up
640 of them.
and they
Yeah,
applauded and they wouldn't stop applauding. And Derek looked at me and he said, I've never seen anything like this.
But Eddie didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
I mean, we stood there and they stood giving us a standing ovation for, and 2 minutes is a hell of a long time.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
was about 10 minutes.
Jeez.
They just wouldn't
They
stop.
wouldn't stop.
They
Amazing.
would not
I
stop.
thought we got to go off and come on again.
Yeah. And that's about like it's just below 700 people in that
No,
little
it was
area.
just-
and
It's
Yeah.
never happened since.
Phenomenal. Phenomenal.
No, but we've had we generally got a bit blasé. We're getting standing ovations, but we do get them quite regularly.
Yeah.
But it's because we work very hard at the act. I must say that we're not a lazy band.
Yeah.
We work hard at the act.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, that's
right.
okay. Paul's turn. Describe Paul.
He's the jovial one, you know.
Oh, jovial.
He's full of life and he does his exercises.
Absolutely.
And he tinkles on
Snappy
the piano
dresser.
You
all
want to
day
know?
long.
You want to know who's kept fit? That's him.
Yeah.
He's fit.
You run a bit. You
I don't run, but I do gym and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
I've got a gym at home. I do 25 pull-ups.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I do all sorts of things.
And
yeah.
then he rests for 2 days.
No, I don't.
No, he doesn't.
I don't sleep
No, you
during the
don't.
day or anything.
You guys not do pull-ups as well? Because I'm
Yeah.
I do get up once a day.
He does get-ups.
get ups.
Yeah.
But his fitness is not what he's looking for. He wants to know.
Yeah,
Do you
well,
like
a
it?
snappy
Nice.
dresser I can see. So obviously a bit of a fashion.
Not always. I've seen him in a really dirty tracksuit.
Oh, really?
I haven't even got a
With a
tracksuit.
cigarette hanging in his mouth.
That's how dirty it was. Never worn it again.
That kind
Now,
of person.
I think, for me, from way back, long before the Bats, I mean, I told you about when he came to East London.
Yeah,
He'd take the trouble to come and find Linda, myself,
yeah.
and then he'd say, when you finished, I want to take you out to the Popper Gallows. It used to be on the waterfront in
Yes. I
in
think
East
I know
London,
it,
and
yeah.
he'd take us out for a meal. And for me, he's always been, out of the 4 of us, I think he's probably the most complicated.
Yeah.
Not complicated in many facets because
Yes.
he's always on the go.
Yeah, yeah. Doing a lot
And
of things. I can
whereas
see that.
we're happy with one
Yeah.
or two things, he's
Yeah.
always looking for something.
Yeah.
He's always seeking something, always looking for something new.
Would he be the guy
And
that books
people
the
might
gigs?
criticize that,
No,
but would you rather be like that or just wake up and watch TV all day?
Yeah.
So, and the love he has for his family,
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
you can't replace that.
Yeah.
I cry now. If you did, I just cry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, that's it's
You know that
that,
feeling.
that's it. That's it. I mean, what is life about? It's about your relationships, your close relationships, your family, your close
Absolutely.
friends.
There's the
And-
secret.
And just like you say, if you're seeking you out, going to do that sort of thing. It's and I can see that you're talking about songwriting all the time, but that's not only that. It's always ideas and things to do.
Yeah.
So you're the ideas guy as well.
And you know, when you talk about family, we were just saying, I was talking to Linda the other day, and I said, you and I have been to places that the Bats know nothing about.
Yeah. Yeah.
We've played in places, we've stayed in places.
Yeah.
But let me tell you this, these 4 people here
Yeah.
have done things that our wives know nothing about. I'm not talking about bad things.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
I'm talking about we've
Just
been to
adventures and
places,
things.
we've suffered together with really bad treatment and bad shows, but the good far outweighs anything. I mean, if you say to me, tell me some of the worst things that happened in the band, I've got to really struggle. And it's just been another journey, even when we're all in the same vehicle and traveling like we're going to do, we're going to go, or when we finish the Music Kitchen shows, Friday we're traveling to Neisner. And we'll be in that car together, and conversations will happen that nobody else in this world will ever know about.
Funny screaming.
And we'll get there, and we'll do the show, and we'll set up, and we'll be in our accommodation. And things will happen that it's like, I've got 3 wives here that nobody else knows what we do.
It's the in-jokes. It's the in-jokes. The things that happen in the past. You say one word and it leads to, and you can tell 3 sentences in advance what this is going to be about.
No, not really. Not really, no. No,
we don't. No, that doesn't happen.
But if one of us is feeling sick, we have to be mum to that person. You know what I mean? Especially as we get older, you know, we've got to. Then
we can't get any older than we are.
Derek is the caring one in the band.
Who?
Derek.
Let's get into Derek here as well.
He cares a lot. He looks after me like a baby sometimes. I mean, he'll help me
No,
set
you're
up
the
the
baby.
drums. He knows I'm physically not well, just to look at. And he's always, I think the whole band he helps. And he does a little more than he has to do in the band.
And when we leave a place that we've been staying at, you say, Eddie, have you got it done? And you're going to Eddie's room. Eddie?
Your underpants?
That's right.
There we go.
Yeah.
Oh no. So you're the mom in the band.
Well, you know, I
10
think
years younger. You're now 10 years younger.
He's the most organised up here.
when I was in Standard 9,
Yeah.
and we started a band at Queen's College,
Yeah.
my whole mindset has always been for the band. I only want to do what's best for the band. If it offends anybody, or if I've, tramped on toes or whatever, trying to achieve that, it's really
of the band.
for the good of the band. I never
he's the gear
want to
man.
say, I want to do this for me. I want the band to sound the best. I know bands where the lead singer turned the other guy's mics down because he doesn't want them to sound.
I must tell you a
I honestly
funny
know
story.
that. I know that if I can name names, but I won't.
I must tell you a funny story. I must tell you a funny story about Derek.
Yes.
Derek and I decided to go and see Cliff Richards in the Shadows. And where was it?
Sun City.
Sun City.
Super Bowl.
Okay. So we're off there, and we're sitting there, and the show's going along fine. And we're sitting here, and there's a sound desk right there. Of course, they're facing that way. And we're sitting there, and the second half comes up, and Cliff comes out. And Derek said, "Excuse me a minute." And he gets up and he goes over. And I see him talking to the sound man, and then he comes and sits down. I said, "What did you tell him?" He said, "I told him Cliff Richards is not loud enough."
Well, but you see, I am very, very, very meticulous when it comes to sound. I'm probably over the top, but I know in my heart of hearts that the sound that I'm looking for is what everybody will be satisfied with. And when Cliff and the Shadows came on the first half, it was absolutely faultless. The balance was absolutely incredible. When they came back the second half, immediately he came out, and I think he sang the young ones. And I said to Pete, "This is not right. Something's not." And then I went down to him and I said, "Listen."
He said, "Excuse me."
I said, "Excuse me." I said, "You need to put his mic up. We can't hear him." And he looked at me like, who's this?
This guy.
I think he looked at Derek and said, "Thank you, sir." I'm sure he said that.
He said, hello.
And he didn't use the F word.
No,
No, he didn't do anything like that.
What he did say was, please don't hit me, I'll turn his volume up.
Oh, guys, thank you for that. I think we just wrap it up before you guys get a deep vein thrombosis sitting here. It's been a good 2.5 hours here.
Have we got some more comments there?
Let's have a look at the comments just to finish it. Fantastic. Mike Van Vuren, that's our big batsman here.
Yeah,
Fires Van Vuren.
Who?
Fires Van Vuren, our cricketer.
From Epi?
Absolutely.
Oh my word, I remember him, yeah.
Absolutely, and he was fast bowler. He was
Yes, he was
we've had
fiery.
them all on.
Fiery thieves.
Fires, and there was Vlam as well. Vlam Michael.
That's
and
a Vlam
Fires
Michael.
Van Vuren. Fires Van Vuren and Vlam Michael.
Hello from the USO.
There we go, Philip Loebscher from
It's
the USA.
Ringo.
He's that's Philip. He was my ex-GP. He can teach you a bit of proctology.
What, GP guitar player, is that it?
He's seeing Ringo start tonight. How's that?
How's that?
Fantastic.
Is that an interview
Rack
or a
my
concert?
brain.
I don't know.
Love you, Paulie. Says there we go. You know, Paulie, she's loving you from home. So she knows you're gonna cry. Yeah, when my wife says it was a fantastic show, you're my through. You must come on, my wife. There she
Camilla!
I've got the pain.
But surely that's not Camilla.
Can't wait to see you all tomorrow. There we go.
There we go.
Elvis is
But
coming.
Camilla doesn't look like that, does she?
No,
Wednesday night.
Let's
Let's tell them Wednesday.
Thank you, Gabby.
Wednesday night.
Wednesday night.
Wednesday night. And,
Thursday.
and you
And
can get
Thursday.
tickets at the door, by the way.
You can,
if you want
get
to.
tickets
Yeah,
at the door
at
as
the
well.
door.
And make sure you book early because it's going to sell out.
Yes.
Make sure you book early. Garth Webster saying great show. There's our soccer playing maniac from down the road, Garth
Oh, yeah.
Webster.
Okay.
Fantastic. And I see, I want to see the bats in Utenegg.
Utenegg.
Says
Yes,
Anton Karlitz is our local muso here as well. And would be better than the Salvador's Dali Seals.
Thanks for that. Well,
You bastard.
Brilliant,
There we
brilliant.
Go. I love these guys. Part about that's the guys. Thank you so much for coming on.
thank you.
I don't know if we've got the competition. We've got the competition to win a case of kitchen leads. We're going to put that on. And Wendy's here to find the person when we're done. Let's see, whoever's online can win the kitchen leads tonight. We're going to put a case of kitchen leads sent off to whoever it's going to be the winner. Who's that? Brian Serrao.
Sorreo.
Brian, thank you.
Well done,
You're
Brian.
the winner. And thank you to the bats for coming on.
Thank
you.
Let's hear it for Gino. Hit it. One more.
Thank you to our sponsors. Thank you, Spa. Thank you, Spa.
Thank you, Spa.
And for Tues and of course, Fat Cats for the food. Fat
You
Cats.
can also spa.
Yes, you can.
If you shop at spa.
Fat Cats. Fat Cats. And that's Grace. Thanks, Grace. Marvelous. And of course, Amobia for the internet. And we'll see you next week. Woo! I don't know. We'll advertise for the next.
Coming out of PE town. Got a drink, find a shot. Never mind your liver, get to Gino's spot.
Gino spot.
Get to Gino's spot.
Gino spot.
Have a laugh, have a giggle, and exercise your middle. Have a Gino shot.
Gino shot.
Get to Gino's spot.
Gino spot.
Get to Gino's spot.
Gino spot.
Have a laugh, have a giggle, and exercise your middle.